live. Well, welcome to another episode of Candlekeep Mystery, the Seal Pages of Verglas. We are the Rollers of Fate. I am your host, DM Mo. And, okay, well, I gotta get ready for this. Well, if I was fish, then he would be my chips. Our second host, DM Cisco Blanco. And sitting on the beach waiting to snatch our battered delights and fly away are the players disguised as seagulls. Who's Savaloy you thinking of taking a nibble at, Luke? And welcome back.
Wow.
Thank you for the warm welcome. I'm confused and hungry.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I'll be playing Bryn. I don't know whether I want to anymore, but I'll be playing Bryn, Paladin of Glory, hoping to do some madness and other stuff. Let's bring it to Ross because we always forget about him. I've noticed.
I think I always seem to occupy the same space on in the bottom corner. I'm Ross. I'm playing Aki Flamacaster, who, to his amazement, has recently survived the Stone Giant. But he's going to be a little upset about that card once he figures that out. Let's go to Dorothy. David.
Okie dokie. I'm David, and I'm playing Dorothy, the level 3 bard. I almost died, but I didn't. So, Andy, why don't you take it?
I'll try my best. I am Andy. I am playing Bruce Lockwood, the half-orc barbarian, most recently famous for sparring with Morker, lost, and then sparring with Grey, won. Speaking of which, Lucky, on you go.
Hi, I'm Gray. I'm the one who doomed our group and lost Stallion.
Do you feel bad about that? How do you feel about that?
I don't feel bad about Stallion. I really don't. But
Wow.
Morker, take it away.
Who are you playing? At least tell you like. What?
Oh, I'm sorry.
The
I'm Gray, the fire rogue, the slayer of stone giants.
Mo, I'll send you a message. Just check it out on Discord.
I'm Matt playing Morkur, the Great Puncher. I am Morkur is a dwarf monk, and he's actually probably the least mad about the Stone Giant affair out of all the entire party. We'll end with that. Cisco, Mo, whatever, go on.
Wait, is that everyone?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought there was so many
Look.
more. I'm just thinking
Did we
about
do
something
Bruce?
else. Yeah, did you? You didn't do Bruce. Bruce didn't talk.
What are you talking about? I did introduce myself.
He did.
He did? Oh my god.
Okay.
Lapsed my mind. But anyway, I just want
I
to...
apologise. I'll be more memorable next time.
I just want to clarify to our American friend over here that when I said chips, I didn't mean potato chips. I meant fries. You know?
No, I know what you meant.
Are you sure? Most Americans don't.
Yes!
Anyway, moving on.
Just because I'm American doesn't mean... I am hip with the lingo, okay? I am fly.
Okay.
Italian. Hip with the kids and fish and chips lingo.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say Blackpool as well.
Damn
I thought
straight.
that might have been too much for him. So, before we jump into tonight's game, just want to go over a few announcements. So, Cisco, please take it away.
All right. Just like always, as you see, it's both of us DMing for our wonderful team. I just like always, if you guys want to check out all our previous episodes, you can do that in our YouTube channel, rollers_of_fate. And you can find there all our games, including also our other campaign, Dining in Barovia, which airs on Sunday and is DM'd by me, and Mo is a really awesome player there. Also, if you have some fan art, please send it to us at rollersoffate dnd@gmail.com. And finally, we also have a Twitter channel where you can find up-to-date news and some of our schedule at rollers_of_fate_dnd. And please, I'll give it back to you, Mo.
Thank
And
you.
cool.
Thank you.
Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, thank you very much, Cisco. All right. If everyone is ready, we'll jump straight into the game and let us see what mysteries will be revealed today. I will play the music. Boop. And we'll jump right in. As pages burn, they turn to ash, and through the ash, life is made. In the middle of the night, as the party rests, after a festive day within Hardbuckler, Ray began to dream. He finds himself under a bed in a bathroom. Oh, bathroom? In a bedroom in a very old place, where a young girl whispers for help from the bad man. Gray turns to see a disfigured ginger-haired girl with the spine twisted and deformed. However, as she speaks, blackened foam spew from her mouth, and black veins stretch across her face. As life takes her, she crumbles into white feathers that scatter across the room. The dream ends as he and the rest of the party are awoken up by the sound of glass shattering, as a white raven carrying a book crashes into the room. It crumbles and disappears, only leaving a single white feather on top of the book. The party hesitantly open the book away from the village and find information on Vistani and their culture, ravens and their omens, and notes by a female author who describes her experience of these people. As Bruce passes the book to Gray, a small map falls out, which has more scratches and pecks on it, but also scratched in says the word, "Help me." Bruce deciphers the map and they prepare to leave as soon as possible. The Vistani wagon was investigated after reading the book, and they discover a set of Vistani Taroka cards, which are pocketed by Aki. Leaving Johnny and Craig behind at the village of Hardbuckler and packing full supply of food donated by the Happy Gnomes, they set off on their journey. They follow the map to each point with Gray's keen eyes, make good progress, and find rest for the night near a ravine where rushing water soothes them to sleep. And after their long rest, they move onwards towards this ravine. Traveling on cliff's edge, rapid water down below, and a sheer stone wall on the other side, they guide the wagon and cart through narrow paths, and eventually they come across a bridge. The bridge itself is long, stretching 500 feet, 30 feet wide and 20 feet tall, braced with well-structured planks that crisscross to create it a very solid bridge. And as they approach it closer, Aki spots a stone-skinned creature and stops the carriage immediately. But it was Dorothy's sweet, loud voice that the creature hears. And as it made its way across the bridge, the party soon see the enormous figure of a stone giant with two heads. They approach the party and begin conversation, but out of fear of the unknown, Gray pulled out his weapon and began approaching the giant, and battle commenced. Aki was first to experience the might of the stone giant as its club hit him off the wagon and crushed the wagon's wheel. The party had no choice to fight back as there was no retreat upon this narrow path, and words were drowned out by the screams of the giant and Bruce. Slowly they weakened it, and out of desperation and frustration, the giant steps over and slams the cart off the cliff. Dorothy, still singing on the cart, flew off with it before she was caught by Bryn. The giant was on its last legs, and it was Aki who saw the opportunity to shake the surrounding with his thunderous spell, which triggered a stone avalanche from above. But although the avalanche had damaged some of his party, it was one large one that struck the head of the giant before it stumbled off the cliff and fell into the rapids below. Morcor and his companion all look over the cliff and at the body now lodged between the rocks and water rushing over it. And this is where we continue our story today?
As we left off from last time, where Bruce had just sort of decked Grey, he stands over him. He reaches out with his hand to help him back up and goes, "You owe Shaw a fucking drink, you idiot!" And helps him up.
You know what? I did deserve that. And, you know what? I will get us all around the drinks. Next time, I promise. You can trust me. In the meantime, we're missing a horse.
Yes, we are.
Morker pats Bruce on one side.
Can we see the remains of the carriage and stallion from here, or is the giant landed on top of it?
The carriage and the horse were swept away. But the giant... Sorry, the carriage and the horse were swept away. The giant is still there.
Can I safely walk down the side of the cliff with my walking boots?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
I was going to say that's a stupid idea, but you've got those, haven't you?
Alright, the rest of the party begin to see Grey. Kind of lean over and then walk horizontally down.
Oh, help, catch me, guys!
It's still a bit of a difficult difficult terrain, but you manage to get down, and you're at the point where you're looking almost at the water just rushing past you, but there is this giant in front of you, kind of lying flat as well. You're at its foot. Well, one of it.
Is there anything that I see that looks like it's worth reaching out to grab?
You still see the multiple gold kind of jewelry that it had on its right arm.
I will take some of my... I'm pretty sure I have hemp rope. I'm going to take my hempen rope and try and tie it to a very sturdy part of a rock on the cliff. And am I able to do that?
There is no sturdy part on this side. Perhaps there's nothing to tie it onto, you could say. You imagine rapids and water. That surface of the stone below will be a lot smoother compared to the ones that's jaggedy up top.
I'm gonna walk back up.
Mm-hmm.
About how far do I walk up and down? Like how many can I count my feet if I just walk like this?
Yeah, you say it's about maybe about 100 feet.
Does anyone else have some rope? There's some shiny stuff on him, and I will gladly give it to the rest of the group.
Right, have some mine. Chucks you his length of rope.
All right, I've got 50 feet. How much do you have, Bruce?
50.
All right, I'm gonna try and tie them together.
You have now 90 feet of rope.
Oh, come on.
They're not Lego.
You're cruel, dungeon.
I'll chuck him some more because I'm pretty sure I'm not flying anymore.
Okay. You have now 180 feet of rope.
All right, so I'm gonna tie it to my waist.
No, that's my maths was so bad there. It was only 40, so 130 feet of rope. Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna tie it to my waist. You guys hold this end. I'm gonna go reach down there. If that rope starts pulling, please pull me back up. Obviously, I'm in the water.
I promise that we will definitely pull you back up.
No, we will. We're
That's
not
why
paying
I
for another. We're not reviving him again. Sorry.
Upon hearing a plea for help, Aki will lie down flat on his back and retrieve whatever food he can from his pockets and just stare up into the sky and start eating. Not interested in helping that.
All right.
That is a good idea. Dorothy will sit next to him and watch him eat.
Morker instead will stand by Bruce and also help with the rope.
Okay.
Thank you guys. I'm gonna sadly walk down the cliff again.
I'll help with the rope.
Sad Grey.
I'm just gonna very sulkily, like, I wanted to, like, look back at the group once I'm going down the cliff. I'm gonna look at them.
Bruce goes, look at the sad human. Everyone point at the sad human.
I'm gonna go back down, and I'm gonna try and grab onto the giant's body. I'm gonna jump and try and grab onto him.
Okay, give me an athletics check, please.
Oh, I'm good at these.
Athletics, not
Being made out of stone, it just plats on the.
12.
12?
12.
As you jump onto it, I want everyone above, so whoever's got the strongest, to make a strength saving throw with advantage. As Gray, you land on it, you think, and then all of a sudden you're brushed away by the water, and the rope gets taut immediately.
No.
So it's like, sorry, I have a question. Is the what we call it, a giant? Yeah, like parts of his body are above the level of the water, or is like under?
So
Completely.
imagine him flat in the water, and there's water just kind of cascading, like kind of over him, and kind of just going. You see some of his body just like jiggling from the constant wave of the body.
Like bulges from his body.
23. That's good enough. You manage to hold. You skid a little bit forward, and a couple of stones kind of tumble down. But Gray, you're now getting pulled by the rapids of the water as you kind of are almost skiing on top of the river as you're kind of holding on. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna try and slam back into the wall.
All right. You managed to get to the wall. That's not too bad. As you kind of skid it, it's sturdy, so they're not letting go of you. You managed to get to the wall, and you guys feel the rope slack once again, a little bit.
I'm gonna yell out, guys! It didn't work so well. Should I try again?
While he says that, because I don't think we'd hear him from 100 feet, I'm gonna actually say, guys, I think we actually may need help. I know he was an idiot, but still, help. And can I channel Divinity Peerless Athlete, just so I don't have to worry about carry weight? Because I think at 5, being able to carry 5, almost 600 pounds, I think I'll be fine for strength checks.
All right. As you see, the weapon glow from Bryn's side. You see it kind of cascade, like kind of go over his whole body into his hand, and you see him kind of tighten his grip tightens onto the rope, and you realize that you two at the back are not holding on to this at all, and he's holding on to the whole weight, and he's not even budging.
Also, I think my camera's frozen.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yep. Okay.
It's good luck.
Oh, Bruce will just kind of go, well, my work is done.
All right.
But, and while this is happening, he goes, by the way, Bryn, you did the thing with the wings again. What the hell are you? What the hell are you?
I'll answer that once I figure it out.
Well, you're only about as much human as me at this point, I think. Humans can't just sprout wings. The fuck up.
Yeah, you know, I'm just kind of just like easily doing this now. I think my parents have been lying to me for quite a while. I'll say that much because I honestly don't know.
Find out, Candlekeeper, suppose. Anyway, continue.
That could work.
All right. Down below, Gray, what do you do? Do you come back up, or do you take a second attempt?
Guys, shout back if you think I should try again.
Do you run the risk of getting swept away again?
I trust you, Bruce, and I'm gonna jump again.
All right. Make another athletics check.
I really trust you,
The
Bruce.
best time to put your faith into others.
10.
Oh, come on!
All right. As you do, whoosh, again, the rapids just take you once again, but this time you just, you get taught immediately. Bryn, you don't even budge. You just see the rope just kind of tighten a little bit.
Okay.
This is the worst torture of my life.
Yeah, it's sore. You know, it's really sore around your waist now.
Fuck. Honestly, should I keep trying this? Is the gold worth it?
At this point,
That is for
time
you
to
to
come.
decide.
You know what? No, I have an idea. I'm gonna walk back up the cliff.
Okay.
Bryn. Bryn. I'm gonna just wring out my shirt. You have fucking wings. Why don't you fly down there, get on top of the thing, grab the gold and whatnot, and then fly back up here to us?
You know what? We can try it.
Oh no, is this how Bryn dies?
I'll
take my
try
rope.
I'll try to bamf out the wings.
As you just try to focus on these wings, nothing happens.
Yeah, honestly, mate, I think this may be a once a day thing. So
It's very specific you to say. It's almost like we follow certain rules from a book or something. I don't know. I have this feeling.
Oh, come on, Morka. That's just silly. Are you trying to tell us that there's like multiple gods controlling our actions at every move?
Bruce, do you want to try giving it a shot? I'm gonna hold my wet slippers.
I pick up the slippers and go, you know, fine. He kicks off the boots, pulls on the little bathies. Goes, here we go.
Wait, you forgot the rope!
And he goes. Yeah, he just goes.
He just goes.
He's just walking in the. Oh, this is amazing and kind of disorienting.
Cisco, can you just tell me if they require attunement?
Oh
yeah.
no!
1 second.
Totally forgot.
The boots?
The slippers of spider climb.
Okay, 1 second.
They may. I don't know. Maybe they do.
Actually, I can check. I gave it to him. Hold up.
You know,
I killed the horse and now I killed Bruce.
Speak,
I'm
Bruce.
checking, don't worry.
just a nice moment because my camera's unfrozen now.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to let you all know while Bruce dies, I'm eating Magic Star's chocolate. So
Spoiler, requires attunement.
Yeah, it requires attunement, yeah.
Oh no! Okay, well,
So what I will
Can
say
I-
to you is make a fate roll. As
Oh
always.
no.
Can I?
Can I like? I'm there.
Is this
I'm
how
there.
I die?
I'm there with them. Like,
I will tell
if
you.
we're there-
I'll tell you this before you roll it. If you
Okay.
succeed, I will allow you to give me a dexterity saving throw. Oh yeah, dexterity saving throw. If you fail, you will drop.
Is there any time for Aki to cast Bless on Bruce, seeing him don these things and forget the rope and bugger off over the side of a bridge?
I will say make a fate roll. This is for you because you're just sitting there eating.
I'm feeling dumb. I'm gonna go low.
No, I'm there with him. Like when I see him go for the cliff. Can I
I killed Bruce.
maybe use a react because I'm looking at him. I'm looking at this use a reaction to try and grab him.
Sure, make a fate roll. Make a fate roll.
can I also throw the rope at him to try and lasso him?
Yeah, make a fate roll.
Everyone's doing
Everybody's
anything.
going to try to save
I
the
want to
fucking
do a
barbarian.
fate roll
Everyone
too.
save our idiot barbarian.
Sure,
please.
Dorothy, what would you like to do?
I would like to cast Featherfall as a reaction.
Oh.
Oh, this is why
Nice.
I'm Dorothy, the babysitter.
Dorothy is Bruce's babysitter half the time, honestly.
For
Well, they're
that,
carrying me,
Is
so
there
I
an
think it's a
order
good
in which
trade-off.
we're going to do all of this? What's going on?
the thing is,
I don't know that Dorothy's casting the Battle Fall, whatever.
it's about.
Yeah.
I will say also, the reason why is because you don't know he's gonna fall off the cliff. He's just. Are you watching him do this?
Yeah.
You're sitting up, I'm lying flat on my back. I've probably got less of a view of that.
David did say he was going to sit. Dorothy is sitting and is watching maniacs do these things.
I probably would have seen if he just walked off and then. Ah.
I will allow it because of the mechanics. So what happens?
Okay.
I will put things in motion. Morko, you're looking at Bruce slowly walking past you, and you feel very anxious, and
Yes.
you feel like he's going to stop at the cliff, but he keeps walking. And then as you begin to move, he just drops off, realizing that he hasn't got any rope and the slippers are not working.
Not
Bryn,
working.
you see this happen in front of you as well, and you realize you have the rope, and as you try to lasso towards him, you miss completely.
I didn't even roll a fate roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not yet.
I'll tell you why no one's rolling a fate roll. Aki, you
Okay.
see your friend, your closest friend, fall off, and as you think you're about to cast a spell, he leaves your vision. But Dorothy, you see him, and you instinctively cast as a reaction Featherfall, and Bruce, you begin falling slowly, descending down towards the bottom of this cliff. The water is coming. You have one round because you go down 60 feet per round. What would you like to do? The rest of you kind of see go over the cliff, and you see him kind of descending slowly towards this rapids.
Am I able to?
Bruce
Am
thinks
I
for a
able to use
second.
my whip?
I'm too far away now. Bruce thinks for a second and goes, "Guys, I think I forgot a couple of things."
All right.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm going like
rope
no!
down.
And then I see him like go. I'm like, huh?
Morker chokes.
Walker's confused, like, what's going on? All
Quick,
right.
That what I'm supposed to do?
rope! I don't think this lasts forever. I tries to swim towards the cliff face, just so he can grab onto something to swim.
There's a
Do a
rope.
rage swim!
The-
Rage swim!
There's a rope just dangling next to you,
There we go.
and you grab on. And as you grab on, you feel the slow motion go away, and you grab onto the rope, and now you're just swinging there.
I'm gonna run over and start pulling the rope along with everyone else, even though Bryn's just gonna yank him up.
Yeah. I'm like this for like I can pull him for like another 10 minutes. So I think I'm just gonna do it as quickly as possible.
All right.
Yeah.
Because-
Now the 600 pounds come in handy.
Yeah, 600 pounds. It's cool ability.
And
Just
eventually,
like
Become Superman.
it's never useful. All for them days.
Bruce kind of clambers up and goes, "Hey, Gray. Your
Yeah,
shoes,
I know.
Your shoes suck."
I don't just.
No,
I'm gonna take my shoes off
don't worry,
first.
Bruce. I've got this. I walk up to Gray, and I uppercut him in the stomach.
no,
Come on.
Am I able to use the dodge action here?
you don't know it.
Why is everyone trying to punch me?
I'll say
Because you're trying to kill everybody.
The
can't you?
shoes were my
I
fault.
didn't mean to.
The shoes were
have,
entirely my fault. Let's be honest
the-
here. I didn't even take the rope.
Well, he's gonna survive this, I'm sure. Oh, by the way,
Dorothy, honey, thank you.
of course, darling. Is anyone else hurt, by the way? I want to look at everyone, see how bloody or not.
Aki lying flat on his back. Me.
I touch his hand, boop, and pump a cure wounds.
Oh, thank you.
I
pump
How
it
much
up.
will it be?
Aki, are you able to also do the feather of falling?
I am not. I can grab things from a distance, but not this kind of distance. Thank you,
11
Dorothy.
points. You're welcome.
There's got to be an easier way to get the treasure off that body.
The last
anyone have
attempt.
an idea?
What about if we don't?
Yeah, I think it's a lost cause.
I'm
I
leaning
would-
that way.
I nearly died trying to get it. I'd like to just go. We got stuff to do.
Yeah, let's just
And,
get going. I'm just gonna walk to the back of the group, like the really far
Don't
back.
you want your slippers back?
Yeah, I'll take the slippers back. When I take the slippers from him, I'm gonna slide 50 gold into his pocket.
Okay,
What?
make a
No.
make a sleight of hand.
Just does.
Doesn't notice a thing.
Can I ask, while this is happening, who changed his name on Discord?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Unlucky. Wow.
I was
Notice.
wondering.
All right. Yeah, my passive perception definitely does not catch that. So
You feel wet. You feel like you're well. You didn't hit the water, but splashes of water made your clothes a little bit wet, Bruce. So you just feel a bit. Your clothes feel a little bit heavier. But,
The very few clothes he has on him.
almost 50 gold heavier.
No, I swear, I feel it's almost like I feel richer after our experience today.
I'm
Twinkling.
gonna walk away from the group. I'm just gonna go to the very far back of the caravan. And I'm gonna walk.
All right.
I sacrificed my soul, and this is the result.
I didn't want to kill you. I didn't mean to do this, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna go.
Look, the whole thing with the shoes, that was entirely Bruce's fault, and by extension, mine.
How do people feel about getting off the bridge? Before we don't know where the first one came from.
Very good idea. Very
Who's
good
got
idea.
We still got the map, right? That didn't go over the edge.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, without a wagon, you only have a small cart and Rose to pull it along. Who's going where
Oh, no.
and who's walking?
I'm riding.
No, shotgun called. All right.
I'm gonna walk.
Okay.
Bruce is walking near Dorothy because she saved his life, and he's just thinking, might be safer if I stand next to you. And by
Aw.
safer, I mean safer for me.
What time of day is it?
Good
Um,
question.
It's about mid-afternoon.
2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right. Well, I guess I'll be walking ahead. Just
All right. And as you all begin slowly setting off, let me set the music a little bit and kind of describe what is happening. Where am I? Nope.
The funny thing is, I think I am actually eating proper traveling rations because I'm eating some, I think, biltong.
I got some built on too
Oh,
here.
what's that?
I think it's like beef jerky, but South African style. I don't know. It just says it's called biltong. Carefully marinated in herbs and spices, beef, that kind of thing. Here, dried.
Nice.
All right. And as you begin crossing the bridge, you begin to you see like a carcass of an animal. What you would have assumed that this creature was probably, I don't know, skinning
Stallion.
or eating a little bit. Who knows? But it's there. It looks like some sort of mountain goat or something. But you cross the bridge without any problems. There's nothing to impair you or anything, and you get to the other side of this now. And as you are now on the other side, you realize you must continue on this ravine, but the other side of the cave, and you set off on this journey. Time goes past, hours after hours, before you all realize that you need to rest. But this ravine path is very, very long, and you still have not left from it. But you realize you need to stop somewhere for rest. Luckily, you find a little cavity, which gives you a little bigger space for you to kind of park up your cart, Rose and yourself. And you realize this would be a good place, not knowing now that it is dark how far this ravine really goes. So, as you rest for the night, who is taking the watch?
I'd like to take first watch because it means Bruce would take first watch. It means he stays out for a bit longer.
I take second.
Can I take the first watch with Bruce?
I'll take third then.
Okay. All right. As you begin to take the watch, Bruce, why don't you give me a perception check, please?
Oh boy, here I go perceiving again. Yeah, I'm just a normal.
I mean, while he does this, can I make a question?
Of course.
Is does Celestian sound like Latin as a language?
Celestial?
Yeah.
It would be more. It's supposed to like in terms of in the mechanics of D&D world, it's supposed to be like hymns and like song. I think that's right, Cisco.
Yeah, I will say it sounds like very vocal, kind of like maybe. I mean, up to you. I like the concept that it could sound like Latin, like all Latin, just because it's kind of like related. But
Yeah, I
but
don't
yeah, a
mind.
mix of both. Yeah, a mix of like a Latin with a very kind of singy kind of a style. It sounds like the words are almost like sung.
Who knows Celestial here apart from Bryn? I know Bryn knows it. So.
I do.
Okay. So both of you can kind of come and decide what it actually sounds like and let us know.
Mm-hmm. I'm asking because I made like 5 years of Latin.
Oh, really?
Oh, I haven't. Come on,
Don't
Scott.
worry,
No,
I
nothing
suck
like
at
that.
it,
Great.
don't worry.
Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, not at all. Yeah, use it whenever you can as well, if you want. That's perfectly fine. But as Bruce, you see your party sit there and sleep, and you kind of watch out. Nothing happens. The sky itself is clear. You can actually see the stars and the constellations above, and it's beautiful. The moon as well. Now shifting away from its full moon aspects to starting to kind of waning. Yeah. But it's nice. The sound of the soothing, the rushing water. It's a nice place, even though you know that if you walk too far, you might probably fall off the cliff and die. It's still nice here.
I mean, I've been there already, so. While he's keeping watch, he's also he's just scratching either on the ground or if he has something to write on, he's just killed Stone Giant. And I'll tell you, if he's writing a note to Bruce for when he wakes up. So, killed Stone Giant. Gray feels bad.
What you writing there? You see Reapy Cheap come out.
Oh, I must have been subconsciously casting a ritual to speak to animals. I'm getting good at this. Now, a little note for the other guy, Reapy Cheap. You've probably met him.
What other guy?
The other guy in my head. Well, technically I'm in his head. It's a bit fucked, if I'm being honest.
All right. What about him?
Well, he doesn't know what I do. He doesn't see what I see. I don't let him see. So, I'll write him a little note every now and again. Sometimes I don't. But usually I try to. Short ones, like this one.
Yeah, your accent changes from time to time. I don't like it.
Well, tough.
What do you mean,
Is that
tough?
all you got? Well, tough to be you, I suppose.
You got any food?
Yeah, have a ration. Well, a piece of a ration, anyway.
Why are you talking to the mouse?
What did you just call me?
Oh, shit. No, Rose, this is a rat, not a mouse.
I thought you were a mouse.
No, it's a rat. That's like him calling you a horse or a goat.
Oh, what's the difference between horse and mouse and rat? Am I a mouse?
Wait, what? You know what? I don't know anymore.
I don't understand. What is my mate?
While this is happening, can I just randomly wake up sometimes and just see this argument happening over what I feel will be hours?
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna watch, utterly content, then go back to sleep.
Okay.
Right, you see, Rose, this is a rat. He picks up Reaper. This is a rat, you see. It's a bit bigger than a mouse. You are much bigger than any rat or mouse. You're a donkey.
Oh, I'm a donkey. Oh,
yeah. As for your friend, Stallion will not be joining us anymore.
Oh, what do you mean? I didn't see.
I just felt my legs were falling, and I couldn't see behind me.
Well, you know that big, ferocious giant with the massive club?
Oh, I thought he was a mouse.
Oh no, it's a lot bigger than any mouse. But anyway, he killed Stallion.
Oh.
I know, I'm sorry, we couldn't stop it.
And you see that Rose's head kind of go really low to kind of almost touching the ground.
Do you know why you couldn't stop it?
It was too big, it was too strong. It ignored me, despite the fact I was shouting at it an awful lot.
No, it's because you didn't use me.
I'll remember that in future, Reaper Cheap. Next giant I see, I'll throw you right at him.
I'm not just a passenger here. I can be useful.
I understand now. You will be my secret weapon.
That's right. Now leave me alone. I want to eat.
Well, I mean, you came and talked to me, all right.
And you see him just kind of nibbling away. And your rest comes to an end. You go wake up Moko?
Yeah.
Did Lucky want to say anything as Gray, since he was keeping the same watch?
Nope, I'm gonna go sulk in my sleeping bag.
Fair enough then. Yeah, I walk up to Walker and I go, "Hey, Walker, it's your turn."
All right.
Yeah. I'll take him like by one wrist and tell him to Bruce. I mean, I'm sorry for Stallion.
We did our best. Can't save them all.
If this can be of comfort for you, think about the fact that maybe the decision to engage the giant wasn't the best approach, but this way, many not other travelers will be under its griefs, I guess.
Yeah, it's true. With no more travelers get harassed by it, and I suppose it's the circle of life, innit? You know, Stallion dies, but other animals will feed potentially and live, and all life will go on.
Yeah,
That's
and also, it's like if we weren't going to do it, who else is going to?
Yeah, well, it's what my mum taught me anyway.
Yeah. Well, good night.
Good night, Morka.
And as Bruce sleeps, Morka.
I go to meditate. I found a place. I mean, near around the camp, and meditate. Well, obviously keeping an eye or a ear for any movements or stuff going around.
Yeah, make a perception check, please.
Okay. Perception was about to be a 19. It's a 3, so it's a 7.
7? Okay.
Yep.
As you kind of sit down, take a few deep breaths, and beginning to attempt to meditate. You know, you break focus a few times because Rose starts making too much noise. Yeah, she kind of rustles a little bit, and it kind of breaks your concentration, and you kind of shake it off, and you sit back and sit there and just focusing in. And as you do, it's quiet, really quiet. And then you think you hear something. You open your eyes, but you don't see anything. You begin looking around, and then you hear some noise. And you're like, what is it? You're looking around, but it's too late, because as you look up, you see this creature flying past you, and as it does, you see it approaching you. Everyone at the bottom, sleeping, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage. Molko, just make a simple dexterity saving throw. As you look up, you see a red dragon holding some sort of carcass of an animal. And as it comes down towards you, it turns its head, seeing you guys. And as it comes towards you, all you see, it's kind of reel back. And before you could scream, as you scream and wake up the party, they all wake up. But this flame just ignites towards the ravine as it kind of hits the side of the cliff as well above you guys. Rocks begin tumbling off before it pushes off and flies away. Everyone, you guys take. Give me 1 second. Where are you, my friend?
Oh dear.
There we go.
This is going to one-shot us.
Oh, dear.
Really feel the sympathy there.
This is my first time dealing with a dragon.
Really?
Yeah.
You know a thing? When he said a sound, in the jukebox came out a dragon flying by.
Oh, there you go.
I was like,
I will just do that. All right. Whoever failed takes 14 points of damage.
Ow.
Let me just see. I will tell you who failed and who passed. Dorothy failed. Aki failed. Bruce failed. Gray failed. Bryn failed. Wait, did Gray roll twice? Yeah, you did.
Yeah, for disadvantage, yeah.
And Moko, you all failed, so I guess you all take 14
I
points of...
failed with a 23?
Wait, where is your roll?
Yeah, actually, 23 for him.
Then you pass, so you take half. So you only take 7 points of fire damage. As you all see this torrent of flames heading towards you, you see... you all try to take cover as much as your clothes or whatever your bedrolls are ignited. You see it kind of push off, ignoring you now and flying towards the distance away from you all with a carcass in one of its claws. I would like whoever's there now awake may make a perception check towards this creature. And I will describe it more to you.
Whoever doesn't have dark vision, maybe a disadvantage.
That's correct.
We're all awake because we got burned, right?
Of course.
I mean, he is also really fucking big, though.
To be honest, how far away is it when we're trying to see what it is? Because, like, for example, my dark vision only stretches to 60 feet, so...
Well, this is at the moment where it's starting to kind of fly off. You know, you look around to see where this is going, and it's flying off into the distance. So it's almost kind of flying into the darkness from this kind of point as well. You can barely see it from the moonlight as well. So that's why I'm saying.
Cisco, quick question: am I allowed to use one of my charges to make it like the disadvantage regular, or
Yep.
do I still have to roll at disadvantage?
No, you can
Makes
do
sense.
regular.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
How
then I'm
many-
going to use one of my charges, and
How
my
many
rolls
is
for
that?
3.
This will be your last charge of today, right?
No, because today's a brand new day.
He hasn't.
I
used it.
didn't
yeah.
use. Yeah, I haven't used one yesterday.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so it's already a new day now, yeah? Mo?
Yeah.
I thought it was still a night.
No, when they
Well, I
sleep,
never
it's going to
used
be a
the-
new day again. So yeah,
Yeah, I never used one yesterday anyway.
go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
This has interrupted your long rest, so you have to complete your long rest if you want. After that, carry on. Did you roll?
Yes. It was
I
the
rolled.
23.
Okay. I was waiting for Gray. All right. As you all kind of see it going away, Gray and Bruce, the rest of you definitely see a red dragon kind of flying away. So I'll give you the details. As this dragon, you can see it, and Bruce, you've seen a lot of creatures in different sizes, and you can, and Gray as well. You with your magical patch, you get to see this kind of. You can assess how big this creature is. It's about maybe 13 feet kind of long, and its wings expand quite wide as well. The carcass that it is holding is of a cow, and you can see that its blood has actually dripped onto the side of the wall as well. Some of its kind of guts have actually fallen next to where you guys are. And as it flies away, you notice. I will give you both to give me a. For a dragon, would it be history? It would be history, right? Yeah, history check. So
Yeah,
both of
I'm on mute. Sorry, history.
Yeah,
for
please,
that.
both of you, give me a history check. No,
5.
Okay.
That's a large lizard.
6.
Okay. You see it look quite skinny for a dragon. From what you remember, people telling you about how mighty they are, their chest and stuff like that. But this one looks somewhat skinny. That's all I can give you from that. Still big, but skinny.
It's like malnourished.
Yeah, you could say that. Somewhat malnourished. All right, I'll leave it at this point. Go ahead.
Oh, bloody hell! Oh, burns! What the hell? There was a giant, and now I'm here.
I agree.
Oh, my face.
How much
Did
damage
we? Sorry,
did you
was
take, by the way?
it fire or was it the rocks falling that hit me?
Fire. So you take
Fire.
half.
In which case, yeah, I take half. Yeah.
How much damage was it again?
It was
Sorry?
14.
Oh, ow, 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 ow.
Ow, ow, ow. Oh,
I really don't feel good, guys. That really burnt.
Bruce looks around. He sees the notes written for him.
How, like, really there's a dragon going by and nobody, like, we never got to know? Nobody ever talked about it? I think it's something that we should know, right?
Well, I mean, on this map, and he pulls at the map, and he says, "Look, Scorch of the Red Worm." And to be fair, I thought it might have been just a place name, but I suppose it's literally a red worm.
As you look at this,
Oh, I guess you're right.
as you look at the map, both Gray and Bruce, you kind of follow the direction of where the dragon would have gone, and in the distance, you can see this kind of mountainous terrain, and over there, smoke kind of coming out from the top as well. And you are pretty close.
I think when we move on, we should probably avoid that area.
I
agree.
I completely agree.
Oh, really, Gray? Don't
And
you
we-
care about the treasures that are going to be in its den?
When he says treasures, everyone make a history check one more time.
Oh no. Wait, you said history, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it could get worse.
But it did. All right. Gray, treasure dragon, and you start thinking, yeah, obviously the follower of Bahamut, you already know about dragons, but you know that the metallic and the chromatic dragons that reside in this world tend to create some sort of dens, especially the ones that are chromatic, and they create a den for themselves. And as they do, they tend to hoard treasure. And the direction that you saw this one, probably that is the direction of its den.
I really don't feel good, guys. I'm gonna tell you this much right now. But
Oh, I'm just mucking about. I'm not really going to chase after a dragon for some gold.
but it could
Says the
be
dwarf.
it could be other treasures as well. It could be history, books, knowledge that we could take back to Candlekeep for trade. What if it's something we need?
Are you really going to fight a dragon, Gray?
Well,
What direction did it fly in?
That way.
Yeah, he's pointing out the right direction.
Oh, wonderful. Was he flying away from this place or not?
Towards it. He was flying towards
He
it.
flew towards that giant mountain. Can you not see it, Bruce? Bruce, look really hard. Come on. Right. I'm gonna grab his head. Like, look this way.
Oh, right, by Jove, I see it now. That enormous mountain that I can see because I can see the bloody dark.
But Gray, this day has been a lot, I know, but I think you're a little bit out of your mind here. Didn't you have those dreams with the girl that you wanted to save, and now everything has gone kind of haywire, and now you want us to just discard that and hunt after some dragon? I think you need to rethink your choices a little bit. You're putting us through a ringer here.
I'm gonna grab the map and really look at it, and you're right, Dorothy. I'm just.
I have a suggestion. We're rather badly beaten up. We should finish our rest. Restock tomorrow when we wake up. This is in the direction that we are going.
Oh, we are actually doing this.
Is it?
See, Lucky wants to say no, but Gray really wants to say yes.
Well,
why don't they keep my mouth shut?
Yeah, as you look to the map, you see that that's kind of the way you have to go, ish. You could go around it, but it's gonna take you a few days to go around it.
Oh shit!
It seems like a detour to me. Am I blind?
Dancing lights.
It seems like a detour to me. Don't we have to go to the hand at Horn? Was that?
We passed that. We passed that 2 days ago.
No. We
passed that.
We're going down.
We're going down. Oh, okay. Well then it is on our way.
Yeah, the hand that was flipping off the bird. I remember.
Yeah. I remember.
Aki, you're a giant lizard man. Is there anything you could tell us about dragons? I mean, surely you're familiar with something. You breathe fire. I've seen it.
Since I've never been on the receiving end of it. Bruce, it hurts, right?
Oh, bloody hell, yes it does.
And that there concludeth the lesson.
However,
Thank you,
guys, I think we are missing a big picture here.
What's the big picture?
Slaying a dragon would be cool.
Oh, I forgot. You're a knight in shining armor.
I don't care if it's cool. I'm not going to risk my life trying to kill a damn dragon.
I agree with Dorothy. I came here to save a girl. Well, she's probably scared. She's alone. She could be dead by now.
Look, the dragon has her.
We have to pass by, or we take days to walk around.
Let's have a group vote.
Oh my god. Tonight?
Are we a democracy now?
Vote to save the girl and take the detour.
Well,
vote to kill the dragon.
I was suggesting we have to go past this red scorch of the red worm place. We go in that direction, we see if it looks bad. If it is, we take the days round detour. If we think we could maybe do something, then we go through the scorch of the red worm. And
I'm with the green one.
Maybe our mission has Hand of Time, because we don't know if the girl is dead, about to be dead, or,
time is of the essence.
Yes. So maybe we have to go through the damn thing smoking.
We should not forget that we're now all walking, and I don't fancy a few extra days walking.
Wait! Is Rose okay?
You look towards Rose. She is very, very wounded. But alive.
Bruce runs towards Rose. He reaches into his bag of holding. He's looking for a potion.
No, just heal the...
Bruce, I can do this.
Please,
you do it.
Save her. He's just starts stroking her neck. Oh my god, save her.
How many hit points does the donkey have?
You'll refill by night anyway, so just kind of eyeball it.
Let's say like a horse, so around pretty
18,
much
17 or something like that.
Yeah, she's nearly. You can see she's got 3 points of well-being left. Let's put it.
I wasn't gonna do that much. I was gonna save some for myself.
Me and Rose are on the same level.
I'll heal for 8 hit points.
We do need above game. We can. I'm assuming we can still finish our long rest.
Oh, Right,
Yes,
yeah.
of course.
I'm going straight
Full
back to
15. A full
my
15.
burnt and crispy sleeping bag.
Before you do, I'm gonna Dorothy's gonna grab Gray by the cheeks and says, "Now, before we do anything, let's just finish that long rest, okay, little sucker?" Like, and cast Cure Wounds on him.
Oh, that feels so much better. Oh my god, Dorothy.
Good night now.
Thank you. You good night.
Bruce looks at this thing.
Because Morker wants to help, but the only thing he knows is punching, he's going to punch.
Oh, my back.
Bruce just kind of glares at the exchange between Dorothy and Gray's like,
8 points, by the way,
Oh,
in
that
case something.
Yes, I appreciate it.
It was actually 69 points.
hey!
Yeah, and you see as well that Rose looks much better once you heal her brain as well.
I'm also going to pat her. Are you alright? Is everything? I'm going to look for other burns around the body.
She has burn marks across the body and stuff, but it seems like the soothing touch of Bryn has kind of cooled off any of these lingering pains, and she doesn't seem as scared and anymore and stuff. So she kind of comes up to her, kind of.
I don't talk to animals, but I'm still talking to her normally.
Of course, yeah. And she kind of nuzzles into you as well, almost like in a scared and seeking your protection way.
While this is happening, where is Reapy Cheap?
Fried chicken.
Always.
Do you call for him?
So many casualties by this time.
Reapy Cheap!
You see him scurry out. He's okay. Nothing's happening.
Oh,
For God's sake.
of course, I remember. You're coming with me. We may have to deal with a dragon.
I want to throw a ration at Bruce for yelling Reapy Cheap and just say, "Go to sleep, please."
Oh, okay. Hey, here, have this ration, Reapy Cheap. Good night.
I'll take a watch on that since
All
Is
right.
that me? That's two of us then. Up next.
Yeah.
A little nervous.
As you, Bryn, take watch.
I mean, I won't be able to sleep much, so I will probably try to meditate.
All right.
I'm definitely not going to be able to go back to sleep after that one.
No problem. As you come to rest, and some of you sleep and others meditate, the rest of the night is uneventful. The dragon does not return. And you begin to see the rising of the sun, the blueness in the sky, and the morning comes to you all once again.
Do we get a long rest?
You do?
Long rest? Yes, thank
Nice.
the Lord. I needed that so bad.
Yay.
Is our apple cart or whatever Rose was pulling still functional?
It is. It is scorched, but it is still functional. It's blackened on one whole side. I will also say you guys had to sleep a little longer because of the broken rest. So now it's about almost like a few hours till midday.
Mid
So
morning rather than like crack of dawn.
10, 11 maybe?
Yeah, around
Yeah.
that time.
Okay.
Righto. Shall we get going?
If there is a way to do this carefully or slightly more out of sight, I would greatly appreciate if we could do that. And if
Yeah,
this
I think
magic, this magic eye patch does anything from distances, that would be very useful.
we need to keep a low profile from now on.
Do you guys want me to check the skies and see if I see it? Anything?
I don't think. Don't waste whatever power it has just looking around. But if we stay under tree cover as much as we can, if we hear or see anything, or as we get closer, I guess.
In that case, should we ditch the small wagon just in case the dragon does another flyby?
That's a good.
Oof.
Tempting, but
is-
I'm going to gamble one of us is gonna find ourselves on the back of that wagon at some point.
Let's just see how it goes. I mean, we'll get closer to this place. We'll see what it looks like. If it looks like a terrible, terrible, terrible idea, then we go around and we take a couple of days to find our path again.
All right.
So since we keep the wagon, I would like to take the place first, if you wouldn't mind.
Of course. Please, after you.
Sit my badonkadonk on the trunk.
And as your
A brand new day! Let's go!
rest, you all begin trekking towards what seems to be this mountain that slowly begins to approach you. And as you do, it takes about a few hours. You see it becomes from midday, scorching sun, still hot, to mid-afternoon before you reach what you can see is very close to this mountain now.
While we're on our travels, can I talk to Bruce?
Of course.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, can I take a look at that map?
Oh, yeah, sure. Here you are. I unfold the map.
Why does it? So I was noticing about the dragon. I think one of you said it didn't look as very muscular as they seem to be.
Yes, it was rather skinny.
Yeah. Do you think that's significant? Because this word here, worm, why didn't it just say full? Why didn't it just say dragon? Does anyone know? Is that a specific type?
Unless it's a worm with wings. I don't know.
I don't
It's a
know.
word that has been thrown around as insult.
Would I know the difference between a dragon and a worm? Or a lime? I don't know.
Okay.
Wyvern?
Now that you're trying to recall, all of you is trying to recall this, make a history check, but now with disadvantage because you are now grasping on dragon knowledge.
A question. Because I'm not trying to climb on mirrors. I'm just making trying to reason here. Like dragons and stuff are kind of like part of the pantheon and stuff, you know, because especially the metallic ones are like Bahamut and stuff are gods and stuff. And Morcor studied a lot of lectures and scriptures about gods and stuff, so may know something more about like distinction between a worm and a dragon and stuff like that. Maybe.
This is what the check's for. What was your previous roll for your history check? It was low, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is you still trying to think about that information and stuff like that, but it's not coming to you. So roll again with disadvantage, and then we'll see. Maybe you can.
Yeah, it's just Bahamut and Tiamat in a different category in terms of they are gods.
Out of somewhat of a metagame. What if, out of game, you own the Fizzban's Dragon Book?
Sorry, say that again. What's a what? Fistban's Dragon Book?
Yeah, so maybe in game, I probably just have a copy. It probably gets around, you know.
If you can find it in Candlekeep, yeah, sure.
You know
being
more about
sponsored?
Aki. You know more about Aki than himself.
Sponsor.
If while we're moving, I would like to pull out the Taroka cards and have a little gander at them and try and show them to Dorothy as well. Someone more learned.
Okay, Morko, just make it with disadvantage. One more roll.
Oh, sorry, you're right. My bad.
Never know.
17.
That's pretty good. That's the highest so far.
Very good.
Morko, before Aki will come to your Taroka cards in a second. Morko, you start remembering things about dragon and the knowledge that you've been learning and about the different types, metallic, chromatic. Definitely a red dragon comes towards the chromatic type of dragon. And then based on the knowledge that Bruce and Gray has given you, you realize the size of it. It sounds like a young dragon, but then they described it as skinny and, like you said, malnourished. it's strange. Why is it so weak? Why does it feel and look so weak? And it starts. You think, all right, they've written worm on this. Perhaps it's aged in time. Maybe it's grown a little bigger. But dragons tend to not look like that. It was so skinny. It was so. Perhaps there's something wrong.
Okay. Well, apparently, I'm not completely sure if I recall my studies at the temple. It's there's either something wrong with the dragon, which is something that I think most of us have got upon by now, or maybe it's not exactly a dragon.
Oh, what do you mean? Is it a? What do you mean, not a real dragon? Looked like a big blade dragon.
It was carrying a cow. It seems to be able to hunt. It works.
Is it carrying the cow in its hand or its mouth?
When you recall back, and Bruce, when he says that, you both realize that it looked like it was struggling, and as it hit the thing, it kind of pushed off the cliff's edge to kind of fly away and continue flying towards the mountain itself.
My theory is there are not only dragons that have dragon-like semblances, there are also wyverns and worms, I suppose. So maybe this is not actually a dragon, but maybe a very old wyvern.
Maybe it's hurt or dying.
Maybe. It's either a weak dragon for some reason or somehow, or it's an ancient wyvern that is also weakened. I don't know. This is just a theory.
Hey,
Well,
Aki, if we kill this thing, it's not gonna be offensive towards you, is it?
No.
Oh, just checking.
I've spent very little time around other dragons or dragonborn, and given how they treated me, we can steal all their shit, and who cares? Either way, being old and weak, or young and weak, or sick and weak, these are all good news for us.
Yeah.
Then
I assume. Sorry, I assume we could possibly gain something valuable from it, like maybe turn some of its parts into weaponry if need be.
I hear scale mail is quite the good look on a paladin.
A weapon with some
I
magic.
don't. Actually, another thing that comes to mind. I'm not sure if it's the case that this is actually a wyvern or a worm. I'm not sure if they have the same instinct or are as much as keen on accumulating or gathering goods as dragons do. Dragons are, especially chromatic ones, are moved by vanity and the search for power. So that's why they normally try to gather as much goods as they can from others and try to break the wheels of the next. I don't know if that's as much for wyverns and similars.
Morka, you said you knew a bit about this sort of thing. Do wyverns breathe fire? And are they bright red?
For what I know, yes.
Wyverns
Can
breathe
wyverns?
fire?
Can wyverns breathe fire?
Can wyverns breathe fire, Cisco?
No, this is sorry.
I believe so.
wyverns
I'll
breathe fire,
double check.
Walker?
I'm pretty sure they can.
I think so. They do too. Sure.
I just wonder with Morker's history check of 17 or whoever got a decent history check, would they know if wyverns breathe fire? I mean, because it's all pointing towards a red dragon of some kind.
The question, sorry, just for Cisco, the question is, can wyverns get to that size that they saw?
They will know that a wyvern is normally large, and also in terms of fire, they don't actually breathe fire.
Okay.
Oh,
No,
I thought they did.
I will still stand by my point because, of course, like, I guess he can remember stuff wrong and such. So even if he doesn't, I'm still going to
Play it that way? Yeah, that's up to you.
Okay.
Would I
Yeah.
remember correctly with a 14?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Objection!
Yes, I do.
In fact, actually, wyverns don't breathe fire. I've heard many tales of them by former clients, and I don't know if these are less reliable than your sources, Morcor, but everything seems to check out so far that they don't. So, this would point towards our future enemy here not being a wyvern, actually.
Well, there you go then.
David, your mic, it's spiking.
Shit, yeah, I see the green. Why? Why is it doing that?
It's fine now.
Well, I suppose we should.
Just 5 centimeters back. Who knows?
Should we just keep on our way towards this thing's lair? We scope it out. Maybe send someone in rather sneaky to maybe get a bit closer. If it looks
Oh,
you, Morker.
I've got somebody in mind.
Oh, wonderful. Morka, yes, you've just volunteered. That's a wonderful idea. Anyway, now we have a volunteer. Shall we continue?
Please.
Morker, you
Yes,
remind me of
let's
something.
go.
I remember another small thing sneaking into something to steal money and gold.
I know Morka's a dwarf, but he's not that small. I don't understand what you're on about as we're
No,
walking
I was
along.
thinking
Gray
about,
will walk in there. I'm not going to do it.
let's just keep walking, guys. I wanna try and pick up the pace. I wanna like make the troop try to like walk faster.
Well, you don't really need to walk too fast because you are now at the base of this mountain. And as you do come across it, you see the path kind of does go around the mountain. And that is the only path that leads. However, you see there is an opening in the mountain, but it's a bit of a climb. It may take you a little while, but you'll have to trek up this base of the mountain to get there. This is a choice for you guys. Do you continue on, or do you climb the mountain?
But before we decide anything, I will just say to everything. Like I'm guessing this will have happened while we're moving. I was like, think about it. If we don't fight it, it may attack us in the future. It almost killed us at night.
I just
I really want to slay this thing.
I'm still with Dorothy on. I want to go save this girl. I mean, she really looks scared.
The most direct route is this way. If we go around, it takes us 2 days. 3 days, even.
Only because we come by doesn't mean that we have to fight him. We just can try to sneak around.
If you promise that this will be quick, then yeah. But if something starts to turn south, we all have to agree that we will just split and run and then meet up later at some point.
Definitely. However, I believe in our ability.
I
also believe in our
very
abilities,
appreciative of your-
Bryn, but I'm not. I don't feel like, especially after what happened with the giant, I'm not expecting to fight a dragon anytime soon. They are a really powerful creature, even if this one seems to be weak or something.
While this is going on, I'll be ritual casting Speak to Animals so I can update Reapy Cheap on what's going on. But
I'm gonna
start the conversation.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start
actually,
walking through that path you were talking about, Mo.
one quick question. Did you, Aki, who do you show the cards to?
Oh shit.
I was going to talk to Dorothy about it.
Okay. So let me know when you're ready, and I'll tell you what happens.
Yeah. I would like to just pull out what the box and the there's a velvet pouch that they live inside in there, and just show them to Dorothy. Before the Vistani cart was sent flying, we discovered these in underneath where the driver would sit. Have you ever seen anything like this?
Oh. How curious. It would seem. Well, let me take a look.
I'll hand them over.
Yeah.
All right. What is Bryn doing while this is happening? Is Bryn close by as well?
Yeah, why not? I'm actually looking at my own tarot
All right.
cards.
That's a
So,
very interesting question you're making.
Okay, so as you give the
Yes.
cards to Dorothy, yeah, okay, good. So as you give the cards to Dorothy, Bryn, you also feel like some kind of power coming from the card. So Aki, Dorothy, and Bryn, three of you, please make a religion check.
Well, this would be the time.
If only I
Yeah,
had a
this is the
modifier in
time.
religion.
Meh.
Oh,
Meh.
Oh no.
Oh, bigger
Okay.
meh.
Ooh.
As the cards are handed over to you, Dorothy, straight away you feel like some arcane kind of religious connection to the cards straight away. And as you even touch them, in the moment you hold them, one card slides off from the deck and it falls into the ground, floating slowly.
The Queen of Death. Ooh.
Aki, can you pick up that card?
are you sure I should? It seems to
Yes.
do things for you. I've been holding them without anything happening whatsoever. Okay.
But I'm sitting up. I'm not gonna.
Okay, I got it.
Thank you.
I'll reach down and
Okay.
try to retrieve the card.
Yeah. As you lean down, you see this card, the Seer. And that's the
This-
card that is fallen.
Well, this is absolutely terrifying.
Those are quite a lot of eyes. Oh, you have them
Yeah,
also.
that one. Yeah.
How
Yeah,
odd.
you pick it up, Bryn, from the floor.
Okay. So I'll hand that up to Dorothy again.
Mm-hmm. So
Getting any feeling from that one?
No. Let me think on it a little bit. These are definitely sort of special. Well,
And as you're holding
it say
them and
anything?
stuff, you have visions of your wagon, of this weird mist, all these unusual things that you never really thought of before.
I see a weird wagon and mist.
You see your old wagon, the one that
Ah.
is being destroyed,
Uh-huh.
and then you see that the wagon itself is surrounded by all this very thick mist. Almost like floating, almost like a vision. And you see the wagon in the middle and this swirl of mist kind of around the wagon, rotating on it. And you are inside of it with the cards in the wagon. And you are actually doing some kind of ritual reading on this vision.
Am I me? Can I look down and see if I'm in my body?
As you look down and see your hands, your body is not yours. Your hands are much older, wrinkly almost. And you look like you had a fashion crime, considering to Dorothy's standard. You have all these unusual, very bright colors that don't really match, like pinks, yellows, and kind of like your whole outfit is completely different.
This can't be me.
And you just feel like a sense of well-being, even though it's not you, it just feels right. And you know intrinsically that perhaps this means that you have the skill or the ability to actually use these cards with the right training.
Am I still in the vision or am I out of it?
Yeah, no, you are at this point as you realize who you are and everything. It's up to you. You can try to break out of it, or you can try to stay in it. It's your choice.
Okay, I want to stay in it a little bit and see if I... So I don't have the cards with me in the vision, do I?
Yeah, they are spread out
Okay,
in front of you. They have like, they are forming some a cross. So imagine like there is one card on the very top, one on the bottom, two on the side, and one in the middle. So there is 5 cards there.
Okay, I want to... I mean, do I know, since I'm a different person, do I know the ritual that I want to to perform?
You do. Is you just finish. What you normally do. You have this power over yourself that you can actually ask questions to the cards on your form, on your body that you are on the vision, and you already asked a few questions, and the questions were, "Where will the path take us?" And then these 5 cards are spread in front of you.
What do they say?
You see on the very top there is a card that it says the Dark Lord, and it's got like an unusual looking demonic creature in some kind of throne sitting down. He's got horns. On the very bottom there is another card that is the Marionette, and it's got like I'll show you if you want as we go along. So that's the Marionette. That's on the very bottom of the cross. On the very top, you have this one, the Dark Lord. On the middle, you have the Broken One. And then you have the one that fell down on the left is the Seer. And the one on the right is the Beast.
Okay.
So that's the 5 cards you have in front of you.
Do I already know that there is some context information to be
What
discerned?
you know is that for some reason that you are and is unknown to you, the Beast have escaped. The Beast crossed the path. The Beast uses creatures as his marionettes to get to his final mission, to bring the Dark Lord back. And the Seer represents you. You know that.
And the
You are
broken
in the
one?
middle of all that. And the Broken One is the one that is being used as one of his marionettes. But you don't know this person. You just know it's someone from far away, across the seas, to find you.
See. All right. Noted. Anything else I need to gather from the ritual?
You just, as Dorothy, you know that as you are yourself right now, you are not sure how to do this, but you also know that Candlekeep has every book ever written. So if there is an answer for how you can learn to use these cards, it's there in that library. And in terms of you as the person you are now looking at these cards, you just really frightened because you know that this that is happening, you are not sure how long ago it's happened. And the time notion of it, you are unsure. And this is what worries you. Is it something I can do? Is it already done? Is it a future, past, or present? That's the worry you have right now.
Good. I will try to get back.
Okay, make a charisma saving throw. Wow.
Nice.
Straight away, as you concentrate, close your eyes, you look at yourself, it's you again, and all this vision is gone.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh. Ah,
Now back to reality.
yeah. Oh my. Well, these are really some powerful cards here. Aki dear, I just had a vision.
I did not have anything like that. So they've chosen to show you,
Well,
which is scary. They chose.
yeah, I don't know why they would. But apparently they did. So I'm gonna. Do you want me to keep them for now? I don't mind.
They're just living in my pocket. They're not sharing anything with me. What did you see? Anything about the dragon or our imminent death? Would be great.
It was very ominous. I was not myself, first of all. It was a different person. Hideous clothing, really odd color choices. But I was performing a ritual. And. No, yours are good. Don't worry. And I performed a ritual with these cards. And it formed a cross with the seer on the left, the broken one in the middle, and the beast on the right. The Dark Lord up top and the marionette on the bottom. I actually take the cards and put them in that order on my lap or next to me in a little space on the card if I can make any. And so here we have this assessment while you are like walking beside me trying to look over the card.
I'm tall enough, it's okay.
Yeah. And apparently the beast escaped and uses marionettes, one of them being the broken one, to summon the Dark Lord. And I was the seer.
Sounds terrible.
I know, and I don't know whether it was past, present, or future or anything. I just know that I was inside the Vistani card that we lost yesterday.
Right.
And there was weird mist around us. By the way, I'm kind of just speaking to Aki, but still, like, not concealing my voice as much so that anyone who was nearby still could hear that assessment as well. My voice naturally projects, as you all would assume. So, I don't know what to make of this, to be honest. But I guess it's something to look into, and maybe there can be insights gained. Nope, insights gained from it. My brain is losing its mind.
Maybe if you the cards get into contact with other people, they can also get visions, I guess.
Sure.
And I
maybe.
extend a hand for the cards.
Pack up the cards, shuffle them, and hand them over to Morcor.
Yeah. You hold the cards. You feel nothing. They are beautiful. They are really old. Very amazing art on them.
Bummer. Brain catch!
All the cards just...
Yeah, as the cards fly, you instead of they divide for a second while they're in the air, but then when they land on your hand, Bryn, they all get formed into a little mount, but you don't feel anything neither.
Wow, that's pretty useful.
By Jove, Mocha, that was amazing. That was really dexterous of you, very skillful.
I know. Years of training.
Bryn, quick, throw it to Aki. Let's see if he does it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same again. Every time you throw them, they disperse, and then they land into a pile of cards.
Oh look, he can also do it. Where did you learn that?
By Jove, you're all so talented.
All
Are
right,
you using
all
magic
right.
to do that?
Enough with that chit-chat and playing around. We need those cards, children.
Right, I'll just quite carefully, now that someone said Dark Lord, hand them back to Dorothy.
Take him, put him in my cleavage.
I imagine we need to.
More slightly blushes.
I guess
turns away.
The beast, the broken one, Dark Lord. Any specifics on those?
Well, not in my vision, at least. Does anything ring a bell for anyone? The Dark Lord? Any familiar, I don't know, Bryn? some religious thing come to mind? Doesn't sound very good, that's for sure.
Maybe something from the village we were sent to. I didn't want to worry people while we were there, but I did see something. It was dark and cold. I didn't want to worry anyone, but I did. I think it's why I passed out.
Are you suggesting that you were being used as a marionette by the beast to maybe
I
pass
hope
through
not.
the gate and help summon the Dark Lord?
I hope not.
I had a marionette once. They move out of control. Like you. You climbed up a wall, not knowing what you were doing, dragging people with you.
Did he steal Gray's shoes?
No, that was barehanded. He left
I
fingerprints.
definitely walked up the wall trying to stop him. Hey, Bryn. Is there... Are you... Do you not even remember climbing up the wall?
No, not really.
Do you remember anything?
I remember sitting next to Dorothy waiting for you guys, and then waking up with Bruce on top of me.
I don't remember any of this.
Bruce on top of me.
Oh, of course it was.
Not to worry, it all worked out well.
Oh, good,
sure.
jolly good, jolly good.
That sounds like you're out of control and someone is trying to get you to do something.
Can I
Who
be
isn't
honest
at this
with you?
point? Sure, why not?
I don't know
So
if I
the-
trust you.
So did you see the beast? Or did you see the Dark Lord?
I saw something, and you could describe it as both.
And what was it? In detail.
What was the name, Mo? Cisco? It was Asmodea?
Yeah.
Asmodeus.
You aren't sure?
Asmodeus.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember. It's been a solid few weeks.
Yeah, you saw the symbol was of Asmodeus, but you are not sure what the beast exactly was.
I think, judging on the symbol, I think it was a demon known as Asmodeus, which is very much something I don't want to mess with.
Did you happen to see a statue of Asmodeus holding a ruby? Sort of like a scepter?
I think I may have just seen him in general. Or her, I don't really know.
Then I'm not worried about it.
I have a question.
Okay.
Is Asmodeus like an important part of the pantheon or something? Because I know it's like a powerful devil or something. Like, would people know like people know about Satan? They could know about Asmodeus, or is it more like of a niche?
If you are
entity?
trained, I will say if you are trained in religion, you will probably know. Otherwise, no.
I am not.
Okay. So
I am. Pardon me.
yeah. So if you are, it's very likely you will just know that he's the arch ruler of the nine hells.
Well, the Morcor discloses the information.
Just a quick question for the DMs. I rolled a nat 20 that night on the Asmodeus thing. I know all about him, right?
He knows everything about him.
Not everything, but like
I don't think you rolled a nat 20, but you did roll 19. I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say I rolled something.
You're quite high. Yeah.
Yeah.
we sent you information, right? Or we told you? I think we told you about it.
You told me you never sent me the information. Now.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll send you the information, but I think the general idea was what Morcor would also tell you is that yes, he did a rule of 9 hells. You already know that information. When Bryn kind of describes his what he saw and stuff, maybe it doesn't add up. Maybe it's like, okay, this is a bit strange. And he tells you do you tell him exactly what transpired?
Yes. To save time, I don't remember what transpired.
Okay.
But yes, I do my best.
So he goes and tells you the detail of all the mouthing gibber, 2 of them coming out, 1 moving away, 1 getting killed by this creature that also steps out of this out of the wall. It's a shadowy creature, and it's huge compared to him. He didn't get a good out of fear. He didn't get a real good thing, so you don't know if he's talking about Asmodeus or if he's talking about something else. That's the problem here, because he didn't get a good look.
Is it Asmodeus or Asmodeus?
Either are.
We've had that before.
Either are. There is 2 different ways to say Asmodeus, or Asmodeus. Either.
Amadeus.
Amadeus.
I imagine the king of the 9 hells doesn't really
Yeah,
care.
I think the English. Sorry, I just spoke over you. Sorry, Bruce.
I'm
go.
just saying that was just a way to say. That's all. Carry on, please.
Yeah, no, I think the Asmodeus, that's the English one, and then Asmodeus is the American.
Oh, yeah, could be. Sorry, just wondering.
Well, I'll be the ruler of 9 hells. That sounds pretty dark to me.
Have you ever had any history with it before, Brent?
I think that if he did, we would probably know.
I mean, I've had nightmares, but never anything that big.
Since the old shebang with you having black eyes and everything, you mean?
I mean, usually I have nightmares about a monster of magic pages, really. It's not been happening recently, though.
You said you had nightmares about magic pages?
Yeah, the night I first met these 3, and that point to the people who are in the first session. Yes, because that's easier than just saying their names, who I've just randomly forgotten for no reason. Yep, yeah, brain fart. But yeah, and then I had one when we first went to Candlekeep. A few. It's scary, mainly because it seems to be linked to that place. But other than that, I haven't dealt with a Dark Lord at all.
I still think we should have come by the Paladin order to get him checked. We should have come around there.
They're on the way back to Candlekeep.
Yeah. We'll talk to them. I still have to see him. I wasn't even aware of his existence, hadn't you told me? Alright.
Sensitive question. Why would anybody, if it's you, describe you as broken?
So I don't know. I don't feel broken. Maybe I felt a bit weak in the knees since in my encounter with the weird symbol. But other than that, I've been trying to remain in high spirits.
Do you feel like he could do something evil?
No, more like am I ready to deal with this?
Oh, you mean like run up behind a stone giant and stabbed in the legs when we're trying to negotiate?
That seems oddly specific.
Bruce, don't you remember punching that girl in the face and ruining her teeth?
Oh. No, I don't remember, actually.
Oh yeah, Bruce did it. You really jacked up her face.
He's a bastard at times. Don't change the subject!
Right, to stay on track, I think the broken one, I forgot to mention this. The broken one traveled across the seas? And there was something else? But it's escaping my mind right now. Maybe I can reach back into the DM's archive and
To find you.
regain.
Reach across the seas to find you.
Oh, to find me or us?
Yeah, you are not sure if you assume it will probably mean you in the vision, but you are unsure.
Okay. So traveling across the sea to find me. Me as the ritual caster in the vision. If that changes anything. Just so everyone's in the know and we can all play with this riddle together.
Anybody raise your hand if you've been on a boat recently? Okay. The plot thickened.
Prime suspect number 1. More.
Well, this doesn't make any sense.
I agree.
Why would, if vision that you had talk about us in general and specifically of me? I didn't have any nightmares about all this demonic thing that you're all going on about.
I guess broken can apply to many people for different reasons.
That as well.
Speaking of beasts, dragon, like right there.
Yeah.
We're almost there, that's true. What a way to pass the time. How jolly.
Jolly good.
I pat Bruce on the back if he's in reach. Or on the head, rather. Pat.
He blushes.
The cart stops. This is the moment you decide. Do you go up the mountain? Or do you carry on? Make a choice.
You're gonna go mountain, up the mountain. I think it's
Mountains
faster.
for me too.
3 on mountain? What about the 3
As
left?
long as we keep a low profile, we can try and go for the mountain.
Alright,
Then
majority.
let's be clever.
No problem.
I
Good
asked
luck.
I asked Reapy Cheap because I've been ritual casting this the whole time.
What do you say?
But I'm voting mountain. You're here too,
I get a vote.
of course,
Why does the other rat get a vote?
because I say so.
What do you
I
think?
didn't even... Yeah, well...
He says.
Well, in that case, why doesn't Rose get a vote?
Actually,
Good
you
point.
wouldn't understand it. You
Yeah.
will hear him speaking like to mouse. He will be speaking rat
Oh,
kind of thing.
Squeaking,
Squeaking.
Squeaking. He'll say, you think I'm afraid of a dragon?
Jesus.
I suppose you're not then. Bully.
Just let me at him.
Wait, you want to fight the dragon?
I'll take it by myself.
Oh, really?
You think I'm a coward?
Oh no, not a coward. Far from it. Not questioning your courage. I'm questioning
Stands up.
your sword arm.
He puts his nose up. I'll bite it to death.
Well, Reapy Cheap wants to fight it.
I will pay all of the gold in my pocket to see that rat fight.
Reapy Cheap, I have a suggestion for you. Shall I use my ability to jump into your head, and then you can scurry around and you can tell us what's in the lair, and then we'll just go from there?
That is actually... Yes, that actually sounds great. If he's so wanting to get to the dragon, let's get him to get to the dragon. If, let's not get him be his meal.
I
Well,
don't know. What if
maybe
Mousy
keep it-
tries to pick a fight?
I mean, he's very confident he can fight it. I trust it.
Bruce, we are not getting our rat to fight a dragon, please.
We wanted
only-
to keep a low profile. This sounds as quietly as we could possibly do this.
I agree. And since when do we officially have a rat? Did I miss this?
Oh, I met Reapy Cheap when we were in Hardbuckler.
Oh, well, is he sanitary?
Of course, rats are very clean animals. Look.
All right. I can't get a good read on him, to be honest. He seems a little menacing.
Bruce, that rat looks pretty, You know what? You guys are made for each other.
Maybe it's a good idea to set him forth and check things out.
Yes, let's get on with this thing.
Let's get to. We'll go up the mountain and we'll get to the lair. Remember, if I do my thing, I can't move.
How close do you need to be?
Oh, I could go into this trance for about an hour.
That's not a distance.
No, I'd rather. If I have to do it down here, it might take us more than an hour to get up there, and then, well, you might leave leave me behind. I
No,
mean,
we won't leave you
guard my unconscious body.
Yeah, we will stay here. We'll wait for you to give us news about whatever is up there.
But
Yeah.
the lair's up there. We need to get to the lair first.
Okay, then let's get a little closer,
Okay.
and then we try the thing.
All right. You have to leave your cart here because when you travel up this mountainside, it is not traversable with this cart. So you leave.
No.
You can take Rose with you.
Are you are you telling me this isn't Skyrim logic?
No, a cart can't go on the side of a mountain, unfortunately.
Right, we're trying to go over the mountains,
What's
so
the point?
we kind of have to. Unless we want to let Rose go, we have to take her with her because we're not coming back to go around the mountain. We're going over the mountain.
What do you mean to let me go?
No, I wouldn't do that. You're going to come with us. But we're going to take the cart off you because otherwise you can't get over the mountain.
Okay. Oh.
Bruce, how quiet do you think Rose can be for us?
But as quiet as a man in full plate armor. Or perhaps.
Well, there
quieter.
is your answer then.
Careful,
Quieter.
Bruce. She can hear you.
I can take this off if you'd like.
We're not worried about you, Bryn.
I'm not suggesting we get so close that sound becomes a problem.
Alright.
I don't know. I think that you do you. I just don't want the party to get into trouble.
I mean, if we're gonna pick a fight with this dragon, we might as well just set up a trap and.
Well, have we decided that we are going to? I don't think so.
Bruce is just narrowing his eyes at Gray. It's like, what are you suggesting?
Trap, Bruce. A trap.
What is the
We will-
bait?
Gonna look at Rose.
Oh, I didn't think you meant Rose. I thought you meant the rat.
I'll look back at Reapy Cheap. Well, we've got two very fine pieces of bait here.
You wash
And I
that
think-
mouth of yours with soap, sir.
Listen, I think Reapy Cheap wants this. Look at him. He's brave. He's strong. I've never seen any other rat like him. He's got muscles on his muscles.
Oh, I agree. He is rather fit. Don't change the subject.
Bruce,
His
think about
brother
it. Think about it. If you let Reapy Cheap be bait for our trap, he'll be known throughout the land as the bravest rat on this planet.
You make an excellent point, but he's going to be our scout. Now let's
Look
go.
at Reapy Cheap. He's ready to go.
Bruce is walking away now. he's just zoning out. He's zoning you out.
He's zoning him out.
All
I'm
right.
gonna look at
Not going to
I'm
listen.
gonna look at Aki and
Still
Morker
the
and be
tongue of
like,
his.
I'm gonna look at Aki and Morker and be like, fuck, he's learning.
You threatened his animal friends. He's just.
And as you traverse and ascend this mountain, we'll take a very quick short break so people can prepare for what happens next. So,
Yeah.
for those who are watching at home, please don't go anywhere. We will be right back and see what will happen. Stay tuned.
Ooh,
Be right back.
yeah. See you soon.
welcome back, and thank you for continuing to watch. We'll jump straight back into the story itself. So let me describe your little journey to the ascending this mountain. Let's see, which one's a good music? Sure, let's just put this one out. It's quite ominous, climbing a mountain. Music start. There it is. Okay. The path to the mountaintop is rigorous. There's no clear path can be seen, but slowly you ascend towards the top. The air around you begins to thin, and you expect it to get cold, but there is this warmth from under the rocks itself. The stones around you also shift from this kind of dull grey to having this reddish tint to them. The very few wildlife that you see also have this kind of reddish fur or reddish tone to them. And even the insects as well, their carapaces also have this redness. The more high you ascend, the deeper the red can be seen. Until you see a cave entrance, not too far from yourself. It's about 20 feet wide and around 15 feet tall. The mouth to the entrance. What would you like to do?
Well, I think we got there.
Right. Well, I bring Leapy Cheap, and I. Are you ready to go?
He nods.
Righto. And I sort of sit down and cross my legs and I go, right, I will be trancing. This could last for as long as an hour, hopefully not that long. Let's go.
You want to sit for this part? When you...
Yes, I'm sitting down.
Before they go, before you go into Reapy Cheap's, eyes and head, Bruce, how about we try to hide ourselves first in case the dragon decides to come out for a late night snack or afternoon snack?
We'll scoot round to the other side so we're not quite at the entrance then.
Let's try to make cover out of the rocks.
Well, it's the expert of hiding. Tell us.
Just start taking these rocks and we'll just build up a nice little wall of rocks until we can kind of hide behind them.
Alright, make a survival check.
I'll help with that.
Alright, whoever wants to make it with advantage or...
I can make it without advantage.
It's a 19 right now. Is it going to be with advantage or?
Actually, I just realised I have the +3 to survival. I should probably actually do it quite well.
Everyone do it separately. Yeah, everyone do it separately.
Yeah.
That's fine.
If you are helping, whoever is helping someone, maybe don't do it. Otherwise, you can do it.
Okay.
I guess it's a group check.
Separately.
It's just a group. No, that's fine. Morko, you see you start looking for around for different types of rocks. And you're busy kind of picking them up, and by the time you return back with a nice rock that you could you see them already kind of put together something and set up somewhere to hide. And it will give you cover from. Not a full visual cover, but enough for you to maybe hide behind and give you a little bit of a bonus to trying to hide.
I can stand so still to result invisible.
That's a nice rock you got us, Morker. You know what? We found rocks a lot faster than you did, but that one's special.
Shh.
You good with rocks?
I know. Shut up.
Oh, guys, I don't think Morker's ever really stealthed around before.
Right, well, shall I continue?
Yeah, just go
You'll
ahead.
be like that
Morker.
for a while.
Yeah, Morker's got tetanus.
Just don't move, Morka. Apparently, these dragon beasts can have they visualize things through movement.
Alright.
Crowley just gets on his haunches and...
It's true, Aki can't see us unless we move.
start running.
All right, Bruce, you sit down and you begin focusing. And after 10 minutes, your conscious leaves your mind and you are within Reapy Cheap himself.
Righto, Reapy Cheap. Can you hear me?
I can.
Righto. Let's scout this lair.
All right. You see, the rest of you see him begin scurrying away through the rocks. He begins kind of blending into the rocks, so you see him from time to time before he visually just disappears. You get to this entrance to this cave, and as you do, through his eyes, it looks colossal. It's like the biggest hole he's ever seen.
Oh, bloody hell. Right, what remember? I'm in a rat. Okay.
Yes. Don't be afraid, I'm here. And then he goes in. And as he begins going in, you don't even need a light source, because there you begin to see small little pools of kind of like this very hot liquid. Just small little puddles of it. And he kind of goes around and you can immediately feel the heat. He begins kind of moving away from it. That's quite hot.
I agree. Ooh.
And then a small little drip.
Ah!
Don't worry. And he begins moving in. And slowly you begin moving in with Reapy Cheap.
Do I recognize the liquid?
Yes, I guess. So I'll just make a nature check? Nature check, yeah.
That will be intelligence, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you got a -4 to that roll.
What? Why?
Because the rat has got an intelligence of -4.
Yeah, but I can think in its head. I perceive. My perceptions are the same
Yeah,
as the
okay.
rat.
So then do it with your stats then, if that's the case.
I'm sorry for butting in, but you know the confidence of the rat makes sense now.
11.
Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he is right.
You don't know what the right terminology for it is, but it's called either magma or lava.
Oh, Reaper Cheap, do not go and touch any of that.
Alright. He scurries forward, moving into this cave as it kind of bends a little bit before its mouth opens up. And this room is a bit more well lit than the cave itself. There is this kind of glow in the middle of this huge cavern, which kind of there is a glow coming from the middle of the cavern all the way across. Like there's a crack and it's coming from there. On the right, you see this kind of lava fall, kind of going into a hole, which kind of disappears. You see kind of 20 feet tall protrusions of rock on either side of this kind of big crack as well. I will say make a fate roll, please.
Let's go. Oh, what am I doing? Let's go high. Of course not.
All right, and you also see on the opposite side is this mound of gold. So much gold you've ever seen in your entire life. On there, you also begin to see kind of gems and jewels. Also, like clothes and items that you probably that have been just all lumped together. But right next to it, you see the dragon. His eyes closed, and you begin to hear a noise. And it reverberates throughout the whole cavern itself.
Oh, by Jove. Okay, does it look like it's like kind of skinny, underfed like we initially thought?
Yeah, it still looks skinny. You do see a carcass of an animal, but it hasn't changed to what it looks like.
Okay, so it's probably a quite skinny, underfed. Maybe not recently come here. Okay, is there any weapons in its hoard? Things that I could maybe identify as that looks like a potent weapon, not just a mundane weapon. Maybe something that's some kind of small magical property.
Make a perception check.
All right. Okay. There's a big fucking dragon over there, and I don't like the breathing.
It's pretty good. Reepicheep bravely moves up to one of the protruding rocks, and this rock actually has a.
Sorry, just one quick second. Does he use Reepicheep stabs for perception or no? Or himself?
Oh,
His
you're
own?
right. He would. So, what would
He has
your-
advantage.
He has advantage.
If you do.
Does he? Well, what is
Yep.
he got? A +4 or a +2 or a negative for perception?
He's got a 0, but he's got advantage.
Okay, so that's a 15
Mhm.
first, and
Yeah.
I'll try it again. I keep losing perception. Oh,
17.
look at that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, as he kind of scurries up this kind of slope, this one protrusion, well, it's got like a slope, and as he kind of climbs up and takes a better look at this, and it's unnerving to you, Bruce, that Reepicheep has no fear. There is not showing anything, no fear to this dragon, and you look through his eyes, and you do see a couple of things. You see like a pouch, you see a strange cape, and you also see some sort of kind of stick that's pointing out, and you also see like the only thing that looks unique is this staff. It's almost very well dark wooden staff that you see.
Staff. Oh, accurate.
Like a quarter staff, yeah.
A quarter staff. Yes, that's rather good. Right, Reepicheep. You're an absolute star right now. I just want you to understand that. But you understand that.
It's sleeping. I can take him.
Of course, I know it's sleeping, but I just want you to
If
understand.
I just make
that
this leap, and he kind of goes over, you see this river of lava just kind of flowing through the whole place. I can make this jump.
Reepicheep, listen to me before you do anything. I just want to make a point. You've been an absolute star. However, to have a healthy level of fear is simply sensible, and you would show great courage for you to overcome that. But it takes a stronger man to heed those fears. This is a dragon, and we are a team. We must not do anything to this beast unless we are a team.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Wow. Okay. Oh my God, Reepicheep, don't fuck this up. 20, please work.
He kind of steps to the edge a little bit, and one of the little rocks just kind of falls, and then he just, all right, and he kind of turns around and heads back towards you.
Mission
all.
accomplished, Reepicheep. Well done. You're an absolute warrior. You.
After a little while, the sound of the dragon slowly fades away, and you cannot hear it anymore as you step out of the cave once again, and after a few moments he returns back to you all.
Okay, I come out of the rat's head. Right, okay. It is indeed a young red dragon, but it does look skinny. It does look underfed. It has Oh, Morcus, never mind. It does look underfed. It might indeed be weaker. It is sound asleep. It is just fed. There is lava in that place. There's maybe a 20-foot around cavern, I believe. And well, oh yes, it's asleep. We could. Aki, don't use fire. I think it's okay with fire. It sleeps among lava.
That's fair. It actually sleeps in the lava?
I didn't see if it was sleeping in it, but there's lava in the cavern. So be careful where you step. There's a massive pile of gold.
Just gold?
There's some unusual items, rather well-made quarterstaff, and a stick, and a pouch, and some clothing.
There's some,
How tall was
there
the
were gems as
ceiling,
well
you
in
know?
there. You could see like
And
purple.
gems.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of gems. Oh, what was that? What was that, Mr. Stripe?
How tall was the ceiling?
Oh,
You couldn't see.
20
Well, 20 feet in the cave itself, but when you got to the cavern, you couldn't tell. You couldn't see the top.
It's hard to tell. I was suffering a bit of vertigo from being a rat. You understand?
Fair enough. Well, Aki, Dorothy, Bryn, Marker. How
Did
do we
you
wanna set
also
up this trap?
look for a? But do we have a way to go by, like traverse the rest of the mountain without, like directly encroaching the dragon lair?
We'd have
Or
to
do
go
we have
back
to?
down the path.
No, we could just walk past the lair, can't we?
You can walk
I don't
past the
know,
layer,
I-
yeah, and just
Yeah. Okay.
trek back down. Yeah. It's not an actual path. You guys are just traversing like rocks and stuff like that. Some loose rocks and around it and stuff like that.
So I suppose
Marker.
what Matt is asking is can we theoretically
Yeah.
climb over the mountain and ignore
Yeah.
the lair,
Yeah,
or
you-
still get
you
the
ignore
benefit
the
of
lair.
a
Yeah.
quick of a shortcut?
Yeah, you could avoid the layer and just go straight down. Yeah.
You didn't
Is
see
that
any
Matt
other way in
asking
or
or
way out?
Marker asking?
No, I didn't see that. It's
Okay.
unusual. I'm only able to see what the creature itself would normally focus on, and I could nudge it in certain directions. For example, I asked if Ribichi would go and look at the treasure. Otherwise, I'm only seeing what he would normally pay attention to. If I was another
Right.
animal, maybe look for something else.
Well, that is already what we knew already. He would be sitting on a pile of gold. But I'm not really interested. I say we continue onwards. We can avoid this.
I think we could set up a trap and maybe try to fight this dragon.
How do you trap a dragon?
Not trap the dragon, hurt the dragon, make it fall into a trap. What if we make a boulder trap? Do you have a spell that could lift a boulder up?
No.
Is at the cave entrance, Bruce will look up. Does it look like it'd have to come out of the cave? Is there theoretically, could we have a boulder there to just go and drop down on top of it?
There is no boulder there. Theoretically, yes, if you can get a big enough boulder to drop on it, yeah, of course. But you have to get it up there first. And this seems, it doesn't seem like you can just roll one up there. It's quite sheer as well. So it'll be really it'll be someone. It'll just crush you if you put someone there and try to hold it. It'll crush you, but you'll need some sort of maybe magical thing to loft it up, like Gray is asking around.
Right. I'm just having a thought here. This is while it may be weak or underfed, it is still a bloody dragon. It can fly, and
But it does have to come out through this door.
That is true.
What part of dragon are we not understanding?
I'm kind of thinking along the lines of Morka here. We should keep moving.
Morker, are all dwarves scared of dragons, or is it just you?
You know what? You can go and get the dragon. We will be going. Get your treasure. I move onward.
Dorothy,
just
you're
scoop
uncharacteristically
forward.
quiet.
Dorothy?
I'm still thinking, to be honest. The gold sounds good because I have debt.
What if
for
there's
Luke
some
and Bruce, but our
nice,
life
fashionable
sounds
dresses?
good too. Sorry, what?
What if there's nice, fashionable dresses there?
Well,
Stuff
now
that
it's-
no one has ever worn.
Now it just sounds like you're patronizing and trying to lure me into fighting this dragon.
Is it working?
It's charming me in some way, I can tell you that much, but I will say if we can just go past it, then maybe we should do that. Our main focus was to take the short route and not to kill a dragon. And if we can do that, then we should do that.
But what's to stop this dragon from tracking us down and surprising us?
That's a good point.
By the way, how
I wonder if it has any continued interest.
How Morcus goes like moves forward is like
I just want to take the hilt of my sword and try to push him over.
Theoretically, what's the how far in would we need to travel to get to the treasure, the gold,
Cavern.
whatever?
Yeah, how long was that tunnel, I suppose?
The tunnel itself was about maybe 60, 80 feet in, so it wasn't that far in. And then after that, it was the cavern, and from the cavern, what you could see over the thing, maybe about 120 to 180 feet away, around.
That's a very long way to go without making any noise.
Well, if we were in the tunnel, it wouldn't be able to fly.
No, we would just stand all perfectly still while it set us all off on fire. That's fish in a barrel, Bruce.
That's a fair point.
What if Reapy Chief lured it out here?
But is that really better?
Well, then
It can
it
fly,
could
then.
fly out and then
All
kill
six
us.
of us
How
could.
tight a fit is it for this dragon to get down the tunnel? From what you saw,
it would be a comfortable enough fit. It's about 13 feet long. Its wingspan would be a bit bigger, but it would keep them tucked in. It would manage the tunnel easily enough. Gray, you mentioned using Reapy Cheap. It was sleeping.
What
if we were to blind it? It took no notice of Reapy Cheap, just a rat. Why would it care?
Even if it could just blind one eye, that'd be.
Worst idea ever.
An idea.
No, worst idea ever. If we get the dragon outside, we could make it too big to go back inside.
True, but then it's outside with us.
No, we try and get it outside. We go up the tunnel. We make it too big to fit back up the tunnel with us. We are effectively trapped inside if there's no other exit, though.
And then he could just breathe fire inside the hole and set us on fire inside it?
But if it's hundreds of feet to where we want to get, I don't think it could reach us that distance, could it?
I think its fire still could reach us, if it's big even. But also, maybe we need to clarify what we want to do here. So we think that it would be good to slay it, because otherwise it might track us down in the future. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do we really
remember the damage it did when we were asleep?
It was a surprise attack, to be fair.
And also, if it really had like a rigorous vendetta on us, then it could just double down last night and kill us immediately. But it didn't. It was a breath of fire flying by, if you will. Terrible enough for us, but I don't know if it really has that much of an interest. I still don't know. What makes you think, Bryn, that it will follow us?
Well, we don't have the best of luck.
It is true.
When it comes down to things, a lot of things seem to just attack us. And
can't you use that same spell that you used to break the cliff to make a cave collapse on the dragon?
I guess in theory, but it didn't happen first time. And if we bring down the mountain on the dragon, we lose everything we're after.
Even then, we still want this dragon coming after us, so what are we losing, really?
But what I'm shooting is at what was at the giant the cliff coming down was lucky. That's not a repeatable plan, I don't think.
How weak did that dragon look again, Bruce?
It looked skinny, underfed, perhaps. So probably not as strong as a creature that has been living and gorging here.
Did it look like it had any big injuries?
Did the rat's perception of 17 tell me anything along those lines, Mr. DM?
Based on what Morko told you about dragons and the information that he recalls, it is not a problem for dragons to get food, and there's not been a case or known facts about malnourished dragons. So there's definitely something off about him.
Okay. It does look underfed.
What if
Are dragons inherently magic? Is this some... Bryn, is there any way for you to tell if there's something magically wrong with the dragon?
I don't think I'm close enough to sense anything.
I will also add, when Reapy Chip was looking at it, it looked like his chest was very kind of sunken in, like it was. You could see the ribs, very close to the skin itself.
I'll re-emphasize that to the party. Like it looked skinny, like it looked like something that hadn't been eating well, which is unusual because dragons should always eat well, unless.
Well, I mean, it managed to get a cow, but it might just be really old and weak instead of malnourished and weak.
I think we should at least sneak in and give it a shot. If anything, we run away.
Morko, how far have you hopped away?
He's still going.
He's at like 5 feet now.
Well done.
No. I'm moving like this because I'm in a chair, but it is like.
Excellent. I do think
God, my fucking leg hurts.
an overwhelming surprise attack could probably give us the best advantage.
But I'm probably I'm out of hearing range, probably.
Okay.
Okay, then we need to. If we fight it, we don't want to be in this tunnel. We want to get in there.
I agree.
So
let's do this.
All right.
Okay.
I think it's worth a shot.
I would like to do one last thing. If we're going to go in, let me go ahead. I will. If I'm above game, I want to make sure it's possible that I can basically hold action to immediately go into like a rage if it's going to attack, and because I'm going in first, I want to be the most obvious target so that I could resist the hit.
You are. Yeah, you're waiting to go into a rage if it attacks you. If it attacks you, yeah.
Yeah, because I'll be holding the action, so if it goes for me, protect me still.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's up to Mo.
Is that possible? That's all I want to know.
Normally, you cannot hold bonus actions.
No.
It's up to Mo.
So, can I, at this point, I will hand over this potion of enlarge to Bruce as well.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
I think if there's an appropriate time, it might be now.
Sorry, there was an important information I forgot to tell Morko about dragons for your high roll.
Go for it.
Also, Morko, you know that you can actually have conversations with the dragon. And
because they speak Celestial?
Well, they speak, generally most of them speak common as well. They know the common tongue of around. And you can actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Not barter, but negotiate with them.
We also have a diplomatic dragonborn.
Yeah, but I also know that this one is a chromatic red, which is like the fucking worst. So
this is
really
use that information, yeah.
Really, I like. Yeah, you can talk with him. You can't really a
Reason.
fruitful bargain. Yeah, reason.
Wait,
That's
what
what
are we
Mocha
going
believes.
to reason about? Please don't kill us whilst we take all of your shit.
Yeah.
All right. So the decision is to enter. Mocha, are you joining them, or are you gonna?
Oh,
Darth outraged.
I didn't hear the rest. I'm just gone.
Where have you
Fine,
gone?
we'll
You've run
we'll
away.
go on.
No, I mean I just moved forward for
I will.
like
Okay.
going over the like continuing the path to reach destination, like go over the other side of the mountain.
Then I will say, when you turn around to look, you see them preparing to enter the cave itself. What would you like to do?
I'm surely we've seen he's missing.
Don't worry,
Shouldn't
guys. Just
someone get him?
no. Trust me, he will cave. Let's just keep moving. It's what dwarves do. They like caves. Like he'll cave.
One
Those
last
are
thing.
mines.
One last thing. Are there? We already talked about this, but I just want to make sure, like
Mhm.
double. Are there rocks and other boulders on the entrance? And could I ascertain if it's a good possibility by how stable the structure is, if we could actually like barricade and shut down the entrance and just trap it inside the cave?
The cave itself is
and
not
go
on
in the
a
place.
is not in a place where rocks will just tumble down. There's not like huge rocks waiting to fall above it and stuff. It's just an entrance, which is kind of got like this kind of like a like a protrusion coming out, like a thing, and then it's just the entrance itself. So imagine like this, and then the entrance is just there. So you'll just kind of go in there. Boop.
I have
Like
a
that.
question as well. Like, say two of the party members had like a liking for thunder-based spells. Do you think the cave is stable enough for such spells?
It's made a dragon's made its home in it. I don't see why it wouldn't be stable.
All right. Just
How
in my
wide is
opinion.
the
It's a
entrance
very
again?
weak dragon.
It's about 20 foot wide and about 15 feet tall.
Ah, shit. Okay.
I'm just gonna go ahead and get on the ceiling and try to be as
Just,
stealthy as possible.
Just to
Trying
make
to
things
start shit
easy
again.
for the deduction, you will think that based on the size of that dragon, whatever you can put it to block it, he can definitely unblock it easier than you. Just put it out.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Before after I come back, seeing the group preparing and stuff, before Gray goes for the ceiling or whatever,
Oh,
I pull up to him.
gosh, not a punch.
sees it coming.
It comes. Morkor comes to you with
I'm-
gritted teeth. He
I'm
points.
gonna get 7 feet off the ground, out of his reach.
Okay.
But I'm still within vocal range. I'm just 7 feet off the ground.
So you're like on the wall, like on the.
Yes, I'm about to go on up to the ceiling, but I see you coming up to me. I'm just staying out of hand and staff reach.
If something is going to happen to this party, you are going to wish the dragon hit you.
Listen,
I'm,
Mortar.
I'm just gonna storm off with the rest of the party.
All right.
Okay. Sorry, but before we like fully go in, are there any preparation things we want to do? Like I could inspire you to be a little bit more careful.
Well, I don't know, Dorothy. I didn't have a plan to fucking kill a dragon today.
Me neither. I
Walker
wanted
needs
to follow you too. I don't
think
like
we-
hiking. I have the wrong shoes for this anyway. But
I think inspire the. I think we should inspire Aki. We need those spells to hit.
all right. Anyone else? Maybe Brucey
I'm feeling confident.
Oh my.
and let's say Bryn. He probably doesn't need it, but
We shouldn't. Maybe just one of those two. I don't think we should waste time in preparing, and maybe your inspiration can save us in the fight.
we shouldn't waste time on preparing. What have we been doing this whole time?
Yeah, too late for that now. Anyway,
Yeah.
Aki, you got this.
Level
I
that.
believe in your magic and I believe in your fashion. They both go together. Great.
Good question
So
then. How many
take that
how many
D6.
inspiration did you give out? 1, 2, 3?
2.
Okay, so
I
Because
already
the
have
second
one
one is
inspiration left from like
Lucy
ages
Boy.
ago.
the inspirations only last for 10 minutes from Dorothy. So just a heads up on
I
that.
mean, an inspiration from how's it called? Yeah, inspiration. The one that you
Game,
can.
like a game inspiration.
Yeah,
The game inspiration. Yeah.
yeah.
So I look at Bruce and say, Bruce, I trust you to keep us safe and be at the forefront while not biting the dust.
I'll do my I do my best.
All right.
Can you throw bardic inspiration up into the roll 20 so I
Oh,
can
yeah,
see
yeah, yeah.
just so I see what it applies to?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
All right.
welcome.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other
That's all I got.
preparations?
I cast bless on who's going to be front on Bruce on
I
Bryn.
do have the bardic inspiration, so give one to Bryn, give one to Morker, I think.
I'm
Bryn-
gonna
Maybe
get-
Grey, because he's had terrible luck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get close to it.
Yeah, then Bryn, Morker, and Grey. That's D4.
How long does that last for?
I'll try to
That,
remember.
actually, that would be 1 minute once we're going down the tunnel.
Okay, so once you get to the mouth of an entrance, then you're gonna cast it.
Yep.
Okay, no problem.
How long does the potion you gave me last for if I neck it?
An hour.
Or
Quality.
hour, yeah.
1d4, wasn't it?
I will have
actually,
a-
that's
Potion
like
of enlarge,
24 hours, that's
1d4
what it is,
hours.
yeah.
Good to
Yeah,
know, good
I
to
did
know.
an hour.
So,
Yeah.
I'll try and neck it just before a fight starts, so I'm not sacrificing.
Don't drink it while you're in a tight tunnel.
I won't do that. I'll wait till we're in the wide cavern and we'll go righto.
Fair enough. All right. So all the bardic inspirations given, all the bless
Bless is
given,
help.
bless is given, and Bruce, you lead the way. One thing that you didn't probably notice as you are kind of going along, and from the repeat cheap's perspective, is above you there are some. While you're walking into this game, there are small stalactites. They're tiny. They're not that big over here. That kind of protrude downwards from the above your head in your ceiling. But as you kind of walk past these little lava ponds and stuff, you come, all of you, to this mouth of this cavern. And as you do, I will reveal this.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right.
Double click on it. Actually, sorry. I hope I didn't ruin anything.
Here, Ross, at some point, reckon you could send me the details for that potion.
They can see it.
absolutely.
I think they can see it. Can you see it?
Yeah. No, now they do. Yeah.
Looks good.
All right.
Need to double click on it.
As you do, you see in the distance, as you did before. Let me just. Boop, 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 boop. You see across the other way, sleeping there, the dragon once again. Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, and I will place you where you guys come. Where is your tokens? I'm looking for your tokens. Where are they? Oh, it's up there.
It's on the-
All right, so Bruce was first. I'll just drop you there. Oh, didn't drop
Okay.
you. Oh!
Everyone, spread out.
Wait, I think I'm dropping you in the right. Have I dropped you in the right token? Nope, I didn't. There we go.
Uh,
Can you see
you
us?
need help?
Nope.
I can see.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm dropping people around. More core. Why is there different sizes? What's going on?
Well,
I don't know.
he's a
Workers
dwarf.
only we.
That's why. I don't know.
It's a
I'll
meat-
fix it.
a
Dwarf.
medium size. So sorry.
Fuck yeah.
You're so small. Oh no, not anymore.
I'm just getting Dorothy now. Oh, you're so big.
I'll fix the size. You take the tokens, okay?
And who am I missing? Is that everyone?
You are
Bryn.
missing Brim.
Brain.
There we go. Boop. All done. Okay, cool.
So
You're all
just a
there? In that little space, put your marching order.
Do I see any stalactites above the dragon's head from here?
Do you have
I'm
dark?
on the ceiling.
You have dark vision as well?
Very perceptive.
Do you have
Do
the night
you have dark
Does it
vision?
do something?
No dark vision.
Then you see when you look up, you only see kind of darkness. It kind of goes with the light before you turns to dark, so you can't even see how high the ceiling is above you.
I'm just gonna whisper down real quick. Should I just? Do you guys want me to stay on the ceiling, or what do you guys want me to do?
Surprise attack might be a good idea.
Okay, I'm gonna try and stick. I'm gonna go up the ceiling and try to get above the dragon.
So this is what repeat cheap saw. Does the map make sense to you guys? Like this is a ramp, right?
I can see the ramp.
This goes up. This goes up 20 feet. This is also 20 feet high. He is up here 30 feet up, and obviously the girl's there, and he's sleeping there. That's where the pool of lava is, and obviously that is the lake of lava across as well. That is 10 feet across. Oh, some places it's shorter. There we go.
There's 5 feet at the narrow bits.
I think if I get close enough, I can cast that spell, and I think it will make it easier to attack if I can get close enough.
Well, we have to traverse a bloody river of magma first.
Wait, if I recall correctly, there's a space in the river where it's a bit narrower. Follow me.
Alright.
I'm gonna stealth across.
Before you all move, I need to those that begin to move. Make me a stealth check, please.
Oh, please, God, have mercy.
Oh, I just remembered I have disadvantage.
Oh, of course you do.
+4.
Still.
But I do have a +3.
No, the
No,
plus
plus
4 is
D4.
not. Yeah,
So-
the D4 is for. Is not for checks.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
it's not for this?
16.
It's not for checks.
Yeah,
Oh, it's not? Oh,
Saves and attacks.
yeah.
then I got an 11 on my stealth.
I don't think I'll move, to be honest.
I'm super far away on the ceiling.
Alright. Stealth 17, 16, 14, Grey is 15, Bryn is 14.
Grey 11.
With the not with the D4. 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you all begin kind of moving through, where do you guys get up to? So you have this is just your movement speed, 1 round. You can use an action to dash as well. Well, you can't because you're stealthing. So how far do you go with your movement?
I wanted to lead the party to basically here because I recall that being a narrower bit, or here I should say.
Okay.
So-
So you will, if you're stealthing, it'll be half movement, so 15 feet, and then you can action dash to get to 30 feet. So let me know where you guys are ending your positions.
I
Yeah,
think I can get about here.
Wait,
Bruce will be a bit faster, right? Your movement.
I've only got 30 feet. I thought it was 5 feet a square. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
How
don't
did
you?
how'd you get that far with 30 feet, Brent?
I don't know. It's saying 30 feet.
5, 10.
It's going directly diagonally.
Oh yeah, 15. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll be here.
Okay, so you
This
moved
is
an
as far
action
as
to
I
dash.
can get.
Okay.
I'll go there. Yeah, so it's still stealth. Yeah, so Bruce is trying to lead the way for everyone to follow him to where the narrower bit of the river is.
Okay. The rest of you, the other 3.
Actually, can you dash if you're stealthing? And the moment you dash, you're not stealthing anymore, I guess, right?
So it's 15 feet of movement, and then action to
Yeah.
stealthily
then you
move
take-
another 15 feet. So
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
30.
Oh,
That-
that was
30
my
feet,
action of movement, so I have another 15, okay.
all right.
Everyone, spread out.
Can I bonus action hide again? Or no, I have to roll with what I rolled, right?
No, if you wanna, but where are you hiding? What are you hiding behind?
I am right here right now.
You're hoping you're
So-
behind a big stalactite?
I'm hoping I'm behind a big stalactite right now, because I'm still on the ceiling.
You're against the wall. As you go up, how far up did you go?
15 feet.
15 feet. You still have
But yeah.
you still can't see what's at the top.
Then I'm gonna start eventually going across the wall over here, I guess, until I
Alright.
could get around.
When you get to, you can see that this is blocking your way because there's a lava fall that's coming out of the wall into this hole over here.
Shit.
And then Dorothy, where are you moving to? I just need you and Gray to tell me where your last positions are.
I want to move so much that I don't have to make a stealth check. I don't know.
I'm just-
I actually want to.
I'm gonna stealth check again. I'm on a bonus action hide.
If you move, you'll have to make a stealth check. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I'm.
So if you don't
kind of
move,
like-
you can just stay there. You don't have to make any checks.
Yeah, I think I'll be like, I have no business in the front with this guy. I think you can take this.
You're gonna be against the wall. Okay, cool. There's nothing to hide behind at the wall, so you're quite open. That's what I'm getting at. Unless you hide behind this, or run back, you won't be able to. There's nothing else to kind of hide behind. There's no stalactites that you can see at the moment. Just this kind of cavern that you're kind of traversing on the wall on the side.
Are you talking about me or Dorothy right now?
Gray.
Okay, good.
I mean, to yourself, you think you're hidden because you have no dark vision, so all you see is darkness. So you think, yeah, I'm super hidden. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sneaky.
Alright, I'll tell you what happens. So as you begin kind of walking, you can hear the purring of the dragon and you start moving slowly. You see Gray move off to the side against the wall, slowly kind of crouching and kind of Spider-Manning this wall. You see Dorothy kind of staying behind, putting her thumbs up and, telling you good. And as you begin walking and you get through there, you think, okay, need to move a little bit forward. But as you do, the breathing of the dragon stops for a moment.
Excellent, it died.
Before you see the one
Forced.
eye open.
Oh.
And as it opens...
And I immediately just cast Guiding Bolt, that's it.
And as you open its
Oh.
eyes, and you cast Guiding Bolt at it, roll for
How many
initiative.
feet away is this? If he's shooting guiding bolt, I'm gonna shoot an arrow at it.
Alright, you
Oh,
all
shit.
still have to roll for initiative, because you failed his... you did not... And no one beat his passive perception.
Look, you daft bastard, I wanted to neck that potion.
My 24 didn't beat his passive perception.
Time. You've
No,
got
our
time.
Hour 1. 8.
Wait.
Fuck.
Wait, no,
Wait.
my 24 didn't beat his passive.
I'm sorry, I'm so happy.
Someone else.
Maybe yours did, but all ours didn't. So
Oh, so I couldn't get a sneak attack off in time.
Well, the
No,
first thing
because
that happened, Guiding Bolt happened first.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
But
Okay, I think I got everyone there. Yeah.
yeah, okay, and I'll
Okay.
just Morkor got 20. Aki got
We're all bunched together.
16.
Oh, that is one nasty flame breath waiting to happen.
Bryn
got Dorothy.
17.
Hey everybody, Bruce kept on saying spread out, so you all know to do
Yeah.
that.
Gray got a 6. Is that right? Have I got everyone?
wasn't supposed to follow you. So, I mean,
We're just
thanks for
missing
helping
our
out.
friend. Should I roll for him or you?
You can just
For it?
click on it. And then
Okay.
you can just click initiative and it should... Oh, there we go. Yep. Alright.
Okay.
We'll just put it... before we jump into the fight itself, I'll tell you exactly what happens. Alright. It opens his eyes as Bryn begins to focus on his energy and raise it up. It looks up and looks towards you. You see it kind of notice you all, and you see it kind of, and you see the chest of it beginning to brighten up red. And as it does, it looks towards you, and you hear it screech a loud roar of a dragon. And as it does,
Hello, I'm Tiberius Stormwind from Draconia.
and as it does, Aki, there's something, a feeling deep within you. As you look at this dragon and it catches your eyes, something about it is familiar. And we will leave it for the next session.
Hello, Grandad.
Oh no.
Shit.
I'm happy we both had the same thought, Andy.
No.
It's relative.
Oh no.
Oh, I was thinking Aki's fallen in love.
Distant relatives or incest, we get it all.
I'm so excited.
More
I
will
can't
be
wait.
revealed after next week, I guess.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy. You guys were so hesitant. You're like, no, we're gonna go. No, we're not gonna go. Oh my god.
Look, why?
I made the mistake to
no
leave
hesitant
the
at all.
entire
Me
group
and-
with the fucking rogue, and of course he talked them into fighting
let-
this dragon at level 3!
I was opposed to going this way with Dorothy at first. Me and Dorothy were both like, no, let's take this route. I want to go save the little girl.
Yeah,
you guys
were
are all
kind
like,
of the fence the entire time.
I
No,
thought
but-
you wanted the short route for the little girl.
I wanted to stay away because I was like, no, I'm gonna get tempted. And then you guys were like, no, let's go this way. Let's do it. And then Luke goes, we could slay a dragon. And I was like, we could fucking slay a dragon.
All right. Hey, well,
We
next week is
could
going
slay a
to be
dragon.
crazy.
I believe in us.
I don't know.
Well, thank you everyone for playing. I hope you enjoyed today's session, and those that are watching, thank you for watching. Please spread the word and love to everyone about this show, so that people can enjoy this adventure that our party over here. Still no name for this party, by the way. Going
Yeah,
through.
actually, yeah, very worried, Tom.
The Seekers, with the Seekers just now. It's like a
No,
placeholder.
let's
name.
keep the
Yeah,
Seekers.
for now, yeah, the Seekers, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we'll
If
think
you
about
like it, you can make it like the Seekers off. I don't know.
We could be the
Homeworks
dragon
for
players if
next
this went
session,
well.
we get with a name.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
we have to earn a name in game, I think.
Yeah, no, in game.
We might be about to.
And as you, and
The Seekers of Death comes to mind.
Oh, it's the Seekers of
Because
Death.
we're seeking for death,
5 finger death punch.
essentially, walking into Dragon's Cave. No, we'll sort
At
it out.
least
Believe in
Dorothy is
yourself.
safe right now.
Dorothy's Angels.
Dorothy's Angel.
Angels.
Wow, I'm actually tempted.
That sounds like a
Angels.
show night at my brothel.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Charlie's
There's just
Angel,
there's a
Dorothy's
quarter
Angel.
staff stuck in a table, and there's Morker just dancing around it.
Amazing.
All right. Okay. So, I just want to thank Darren Curtis for his amazing music, and also James Webster for his amazing art through the game and through the breaks. And if you haven't watched any of our Curse of Strahd or previous games to this, you can catch it on our YouTube as well. But catch us on Sunday for Curse of Strahd, and next Tuesday for this event to happen. Thank you very much.
Yay.
We'll
thank
see
you
you next
guys.
week. Have a good week.
Yeah, we love you all. Thank you for watching.
Bye
See you next
bye.
Bye.
week. Love.